Hey, friends. I cannot believe it, but it has been exactly an entire year since I took my first Mounjaro shot. I took it on January 10th of 2024, and today is January 13th of 2025. I'm going to be sharing with you today some of the things that I wish I knew before I started taking my Mounjaro, and some of the which are special things that I have learned along the way. And I also have a wonderful guest that's going to be joining us today, who has lost. This lady has lost over 160 pounds while being on Mounjaro. So you're going to be able to ask me questions. This is a live, so you can ask me questions, and you'll be able to ask Pam questions as well. But I'm going to start first and just share with you a few things that I have learned along the way, and I wish I had known right before I started Mounjaro. Now, when I did start my Mounjaro journey, number one, that very first day, I was scared to death to take my shot. I put it off for quite a bit because I was just the whole thought of putting a needle into my belly by myself and giving myself a jab was scary for me. So I was really nervous about it. And then I thought, I bet there's other people that are nervous about it too. So I asked my husband to tape me on his cell phone of me giving myself my shot for the first time. And I hoped that it would help somebody else that's also nervous with needles to be able to do it if they can see live my first time's reaction. And so Jeff did that for me. And then I thought, okay, he taped it and it didn't hurt, which was a shock. It didn't hurt. I wish I knew in advance it wouldn't hurt because I wouldn't have worried about it. If you, the second thing I wish I had learned right before that first shot is if you take the shot out of the refrigerator and let it sit for at least 30 minutes, you can't feel it. You can't feel it at all. You can ask our buddy Nathan, who is on this live right now, and he'll tell you, you can't feel it. He even made the mistake and thought, uh-oh, it must not have worked, and gave himself a second shot. And then got sick because he had too much medicine in him because he had double the medicine, because you cannot feel that shot. There is no pain if you sit the medicine out for at least 30 minutes. Now, the first time I took the shot, hey, it took me more than 30 minutes to get the guts to do it. So it was naturally at room temperature by the time I did. And I got to have this immediate relief of being like, wow, that didn't hurt. Did it really work? I hope it worked. But there was no more medicine in there, and I didn't have anything dribbling down my belly. So it went somewhere. So it must have gone inside me, and it did. So number one, it doesn't hurt as long as you take it out of the refrigerator and sit it for a little bit. Last week, I thought, sometimes when I give myself a shot, and this is something I wish I'd known too from the very beginning, so I wouldn't worry about it. Sometimes when I give myself a shot, I have a little red dot, and that's wonderful. It doesn't hurt, but there's a little red dot, so I know, okay, it went in. Yay! But sometimes I don't get a red dot, just like Nathan didn't get a red dot. And he's like, gee, did it go in? Ah, darn it. I must have broken this one. It didn't go in. It didn't work. And then he took another shot out of the fridge and did it again. Ah, poor Nathan. But I'm glad that he was willing to share, because when you can share your mistakes, you're helping out other people too. And you can laugh at yourself, Anyway, last week, I decided to try to take the shot super cold, straight from the fridge. And where did I put it? I think I put it in my arm, straight from the fridge into my arm. And I can tell you, when it is super cold immediately from the refrigerator into your body, you can feel it. It's not like crazy painful, but it is really cold. That needle is really cold and the medicine is really cold. And so it's kind of like a menthol, a quick little menthol sting. Whereas not a horrible sting, not like getting like a bee sting or anything, but just a quick little, oof, kind of wake you up a little bit. So anyway, if you worry that it's not going in, you can take it cold so you can feel it. The next time do it cold. But that's one of the things that I wish I knew. That if I was going to worry about it, I could try taking it cold. But hey, when you leave it on the counter for at least 30 minutes, you can't feel it. And you know what? If you don't want to feel it, that's great. Just have it sit out for a little bit. Another thing that I wish that I had known before I started is it's important to have things in your house to help if you have any tummy issues. So when I did the 2.5 milligrams, I never threw up and I didn't have extreme tummy ache except for one day that I made cabbage soup and I didn't take a Beano tablet for it. Beano is just digestive enzymes, and we're all out of Beano. And I do have cabbage soup because I love having cabbage soup around. And I don't do like the cabbage soup diet where that's all you eat is cabbage soup 24 hours a day. But I'll have, a bowl of cabbage soup for either lunch or dinner. And it's very healthy and it's very delicious because I spice mine like chili.
It's not just cabbage in there.
Oh, no. I have lots of vegetables. Yeah. Yes. I put a ton of vegetables, including cabbage in it, and tomatoes and mushrooms and onions and bell peppers and zucchini. And I have all kinds of vegetables in it. And it is very delicious because I spice it as if I was spicing a very spicy chili. So it's very, very flavorful and warm and delicious. But some vegetables don't give me gas, but cabbage does. And when you take Mounjaro, there's two things that make Mounjaro work for you. One is it takes longer for your stomach to empty. So if you're having something that's gassy like cabbage or beans like kidney beans and different kinds of legumes, they can be gassy too. And so, and it's going to sit in your stomach longer, getting gassier. So it is going to bloat me. And so so I need to be wearing stretchy pants when I eat something really gassy because it is going to bloat my stomach a little bit, even though it's nutritious.
Can't you take, okay.
Yes. Sorry. Or I could take a Beano with it and I'm not going to get as gassy. Or there's a second thing I can do if I don't have Beano that works for me, and that's Gas X. And if I take Gas X, that really helps. Now, I am going to belch a little bit, so I don't know if I want to do it in public per se, but it does make me burp. But it makes me feel a lot better. It really relieves the gas pressure. So this was a good thing that I always keep in my house, and it has. Some of them, Gas X comes in two different ways. One where it's a chewable tablet that's actually pretty tasty, and another way where it's a pill that you can swallow. So it's easy for me to have this in my purse too. So that way, if I eat something and I'm on the run, at a restaurant or running around with friends or something, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good, I can quickly take one of these, and then I feel good. Another thing that I like to have in my house, which I discovered when I titrated up to 5 milligrams, that's double the amount of medicine, and 2.5 is a starter dose. But for some people, they lose a ton of weight on 2.5, and it just does the trick for them. For me, I started with that. did a month's worth of that. And then I titrated up to 5 milligrams because I have type 2 diabetes. And my doctor was really excited to get my blood sugar under control because I was over a 7. So I was not doing well. So I needed to bring it down. So we went up to 5 milligrams, and that kicked my butt a little bit. So it didn't make me feel like I was going to throw up every day or anything like that. But if I ate something that was too calorie rich and dense, which I did like 2 or 3 days into 5 milligrams, I woke up in the middle of the night and my stomach hurt so bad. And I had nothing in the house for stomach aches, nothing. I had
Who had to get you those things?
yeah, you did. Oh my gosh. I mean, I had things coming out of both ends at the same time. It was awful. So poor Jeff had to run to the store for me to try to find things. He actually had to wait. I think he had to wait till Walmart or something open. He had to wait till 6 a.m. for a store to be open so he could go and get me some things. And he got me Tums. And I can tell you, when I first saw Tums, I thought, oh, those are chalky, horrible things. No, Jeff got me Tums smoothies, and the smoothie ones are delicious. They're like calcium candy. They are so tasty. I love them. And it really helps the stomach ache. So this is really good to have in the house. And I wish I'd known this in advance because I wouldn't have thrown up. And if this doesn't do the trick for me, because something that I ate was really, really, really upsetting my stomach, Pepsid Complete it'll stop. I've had a couple of times where I've had an extreme stomach ache where I think, I might just throw up. Oh crap, I shouldn't have eaten whatever it was. It evidently was too rich and heavy. It's not very often, but every now and again.
You learn.
Oh yeah, I learned, absolutely. But if that happens, or you're having dinner at a friend's house and that's what they cooked you, and it was delicious, and you want to eat at least some of it, and get a stomach ache. If I take a Pepsid Complete, it'll erase that stomach ache, and it'll erase it pretty fast. And I could tell it's a stomach ache that I'd probably, if I let it fester, I'd throw up. But if I took Pepsid Complete, knocks it out for me. So
these are all over
the counter things. Now, if you're, you may be taking other medications, you may have other comorbidities or other little health issues, and you're taking other medications as well as your Mounjaro or Zepbound or any GLP-1.
Who can you ask?
The pharmacist. And there are pharmacists at most grocery stores, Target, Walmart, Costco, CVS, Walgreens. There are pharmacists all over the place. And there usually are pharmacists at stores that sell over-the-counter medications. And you can go to a pharmacist window, even though you're not getting a doctor-filled prescription at that store. Pharmacists are the friendliest, nicest people, and they have gone to college to learn what medications can go with other medications and what the side effects are for different medications. So you can ask the pharmacist, hey, I'm also on blood pressure meds, and I'm on Mounjaro or Zepbound or Ozempic or Wegovy. Can I have Pepsid Complete with all these medications I'm taking? Will this be okay? And they can look that up for you and give you a definitive answer. So anyway, so these are over the counter, but sometimes I know I learned from one of our friends here in the Anchor Moments community. She can't take Tums because Tums isn't good for one of the other prescription medications she takes, so she can't do Tums. So anyway,
I was taking an antibiotic, and I wasn't supposed to have calcium stuff.
Right. When Jeff was recently on an antibiotic, yeah, and he couldn't even have cheese or milk or Tums with that particular antibiotic that he was on.
Help me know that?
The pharmacist?
Yeah, they say, would you like to speak to the pharmacist? Is this a new medication for you? And just say yes.
Exactly.
Or go over and just ask.
Exactly. And I've never really had to take a lot of medications before. So I didn't realize before I started taking Mounjaro how awesome it is that there are pharmacists all over the place. And some Walgreens are 24 hours. And so you can talk to a pharmacist, right away. So anyway, they'll be so kind to you. You can ask them a question and they are so knowledgeable. And if they don't know it just off the top of their head, they will look it up for you. So anyway, pharmacists are great resources.
Did you use all those?
Yes, I have. I've used Tums, I've used Gas-X, and the Pepcid Complete. The only one I haven't used is Jeff got Pepto-Bismol, and it's wintergreen flavor. And when I was a kid and I had the stomach flu, my mom would give me this, and just the thought of the smell of it with the food memory. I haven't even opened this box yet, but if I ever had like horrific diarrhea, then I would take it, but I wouldn't take it for stomach upset, because the thought of it gives me stomach upset. I would take one of these other things instead. In my, another thing, when side effects, so I only get extreme stomach upset if I mess up and I eat too much of a rich item, a high calorie, high fat, or high fat and sugar item. Where was I going with that? Oh, in a whole year's time, I've only thrown up 3 times. So that's only 3 mess ups. That's not too bad. And the first one, I didn't have any medications that could stop a stomach ache. So not too bad. Another piece of advice, because of a side effect that I get with Mounjaro that I always have to stay ahead of constipation. Because Mounjaro is slowing down my system, there's a bunch of us on Mounjaro and Zepbound and Ozempic and Wegovy that they can have constipation issues. Now, I had asked my stepdad, because he has battled constipation. I used to always tease him. He eats Fiber One cereal, and I used to call it colon blow, that he was eating colon blow, And when he came out to visit and I was new to my Mounjaro and having some constipation issues, I asked him if he had any good advice other than eating colon blow. And he said fiber gummies had really worked for him. And he bought me my first bottle of fiber gummies that he likes. It's the Fiber Well, but there's other fiber gummies that are probably just as good. Actually, the first bottle he gave me was the Target brand that was just like VitaFusion's Fiber Well, or compared to. So anyway, I've had the generic version and the regular version. The name brand version actually does taste a little bit better. I prefer it. But here's the deal. Ed told me he takes 2 in the morning and then he takes 2 at night, and that does the trick for him. And in the beginning, it did the trick for me. But you have to drink plenty of water when you have the fiber gummies.
Actually, you should drink plenty of water, whichever kind of, even if you're doing like colon blow.
Yeah,
whatever you're using.
Yeah, Jeff likes the Fiber One cereal too, that I nicknamed colon blow. It's very high in fiber, but I don't like the flavor, but he doesn't mind the flavor. And so he'll take that, but he knows he's got to drink water when he's eating that cereal too, because it's so high in fiber. And you need the water to kind of help work with the fiber to move everything through your system. Because if you don't, things will get stuck. And that's the thing. Also, you can't eat too many of these fiber gummies. They're delicious. They taste like candy. And if you feel like, hey, I've been extra constipated, I'll just have some extra fiber gummies and that'll just push everything through.
Bad?
No, bad advice. If you have too many fiber gummies, it can gum things up and things can kind of get stuck in there. Also not good. So I was doing the fiber gummies, and I was probably having, instead of having 4 like my stepdad was, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, I was throwing a couple in the afternoon too, 3 or 4. I don't know. I maybe had up to 8 gummies in a day, maybe around 8-ish or so. I don't know. I didn't pay close enough attention, walk in the kitchen and you'd see him and think, oh, maybe I haven't pooped yet today, and maybe I should have a couple more of those. And they're so good.
Did you read the directions?
Well, I don't know. I had a ultrasound because I was having some female issues. And the gynecologist came out after looking at the ultrasound and she said, "Oh my gosh, woman, do you ever poop? You are so backed up." And I'm like, "Well, I go a little bit every day." And she's like, "Well, you're not going enough. You are really backed up." And then I told her, "Well, I've been eating fiber gummies." And she was the one who told me, "How many of those are you taking today? You're not taking more than 2, are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, maybe like 8 or 9." And she's like, "Oh my God, you can't do that. And you have to drink lots of water with it too. And it's making it worse for you, backing you up." So if you do fiber gummies, you know, the max you can take is a couple in the morning and a couple at night. You really you shouldn't be taking more than that because it could do the opposite effect. So that's something I wish I'd known before I started Mounjaro and was going to deal with constipation. Another thing I learned, still on the constipation issue, is Miralax. So I was doing just this is a generic Miralax, uh, but Miralax or a generic Miralax is wonderful. And every now and again, I would take a Miralax, but I was worried. I didn't want to do it every day because I was afraid, what if I got addicted to it or something? I don't know. And so I was worried about that. Well, I ended up needing a hysterectomy for my female issues, which I do have a bunch of videos about that. So if there's anybody here who needs a robotic hysterectomy, I have day-by-day play. I can't get you a good deal, but I do have a playlist of right before I went into surgery and every day after surgery for a couple of weeks.
Coupons.
Yeah. So if you do want to if you need any help with that or you're worried about it, I share a lot of those too. So you can check out that playlist about the hysterectomy. But anyway, before you have any surgery, which is an important thing to know, any kind of surgery, surgeons, they don't necessarily look through your medical history. It's so long. They got stuff to do. They're not necessarily looking through everything.
You mean your prescriptions?
Yes, and all your stuff. So you need to be proactive and you've got to tell your surgeon that you are taking a GLP-1, either, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Ozempic, any of those. You need to tell him or her that you're taking that because they're going to let you know when you should stop taking your medicine before your surgery. So for me, my surgery was on a Friday and I take my shots on Monday. And he said I could not take my Monday shot. And the reason is because when you're under anesthesia, your stomach has to be totally empty because you can aspirate where when they have the oxygen on you and you're under all that medication to sleep and stuff, anesthesia, that it can things can go up and go into your lungs, and worst case scenario, you die from it. That's not a good scenario. So you've got to if you're going to have any kind of surgeries, and so you're not seeing the doctor who normally prescribes your Mounjaro, Zepbound, whatever GLP-1 you're on, you have to remind them that you're taking it and should you stop it, and how many days before the surgery are you to not have your shot. And so that is very, 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 very important. And then also when you have surgery, when you have anesthesia constipates regular people who aren't on GLP-1 medications. It's very constipating. And so I started taking Miralax and a Colay stool softener together. I took a Miralax probably even the day before my surgery because I wanted to make sure I was kind of cleaned out. And then I started taking it every day after my surgery. And I did that for a couple of weeks. And then I thought, well, I'm going to have to stop doing this. But, and so I talked to my doctor and my primary care doctor and said, when I visited him after my surgery, about two weeks out or so. And I said, I probably have to stop taking the Miralax, but boy, it's been so great. I'm pooping every day. It's been pretty wonderful. And he said, Gina, with the medications that you're taking, you could have Miralax every day, 1 dose for the rest of your life, and it won't hurt you. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah, you could do that. it would be fine for you. You could take it every day, 1 dose. And so I stopped the Colace, but just do Miralax, and I take Miralax every day. But another thing, Miralax is also like the fiber gummies. Miralax,
Right.
and it was my pharmacist that told me this. Miralax only works when you take enough water. So if you are not drinking enough water and you're taking Miralax, your Miralax isn't really going to work that well. But if you do drink water, drink extra water, it will flush you out. Like I know if I usually take mine before I go in the evening, either with dinner, or if I forget to do it during dinner, then I'll do it right before I go to bed. And I usually poop first thing in the morning. But if I don't, and I notice it's a little bit later, later in the morning or early afternoon, I'll go, oh, I should drink something. And I can chug water if it doesn't have ice cubes in it. So I can do, I have a glass that's 16 ounces. And so I can chug really fast 16 ounces of water if it's room temperature. And then if I drink 16 ounces, 2 glasses for 32 ounces, within an hour, I'll poop. Because Miralax is like, hey, got some water now. Let's kind of do what I do and get everything out. And it does. And that does the trick for me. So super important to, if you're one of the people who constipation is one of the side effects that you end up having, definitely if you're taking Miralax, drink plenty of water. And before you take Miralax every single day, either ask a pharmacist and tell them every single medication you're taking, can I do Miralax every day? Or definitely your doctor, but if you can't get into your doctor in time or whatever, ask your doctor or your pharmacist, and they'll let you know if you're taking a different medication that would be an issue for taking Miralax.
I'll take those.
And thank you, Jeff. And let me see if there was one more thing. I did don't take too many fiber gummies. Another one, I was afraid when I took the first 2 shots, when I took my first shot in my stomach, I had Jeff tape it. And then the second week, I did it in my arm, and I had Jeff video me with his cell phone and create a video for that. And before he released the first one, I was trying to decide, do I want people to know that I'm taking Mounjaro? And I was a little worried, and I was worried, what will my friends and family think if they hear I'm taking a GLP-1? Are they going to give me a hard time? I don't know. Will they think less of me? I don't know. I was worried about that. And I will say, I shared with one of my close friends that after I'd taken the first shot, and I hadn't put it on YouTube yet, but I shared with a very close friend. And that friend has been a skinny mini her whole life. And she said, oh, Gina, that makes me worried. Why don't you just do diet and exercise, to lose weight? And she's never battled obesity. During the pandemic, I think she gained like 20 pounds. The first time she probably ever was a little, not even pudgy really, but she had like an extra 20 pounds and her clothes were all tight. But she ate less and she exercised more. And within a few months, she pulled that 20 pounds off her. And so, so she's asked me, maybe some, just diet and exercise. She just didn't understand because she's not been obese for dozens of years like me. And she was worried about me. And she said, because she was worried, well, what if the side effects are horrible and it ends up hurting you more than it's going to help? And so she was really genuinely concerned for me. And I told her, well, I have type 2 diabetes. My A1C is starting to creep back up again. And my doctor really thinks this will be good for me. I'll try it. If I start having bad side effects, I promise I'll quit. But I want to give it a go. And then I thought, after meeting with her, gosh, do I dare tell anybody else? Do I put this on YouTube or not?
Had you told me,
Well, yes, Jeff. So like only Jeff knew and my doctor knew. And that's it. And then I shared with that one friend. And then that one friend's response was like, "Oh my gosh, what if it hurts you more? And I'm just worried about you. Why don't you just do diet and exercise?" Like, do you really think I've not tried diet and exercise? I mean, really, I'm in my 50s. Do you think it never struck me, hey, if I did some diet and exercise, maybe that would make me thin? Oh my God, I've done it a million times.
Or
And I'd start to
you're
lose weight and then
cheating.
gain more than I lost. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, I've thought about that. I've tried it a bazillion times. It just hasn't worked for me. And boy, I tell you what. So I was worried about letting people know. And I wish that a year ago, I would have told myself, who cares? You're doing what's right for you. And guess what? You might be able to help somebody else who's nervous and who's thinking about it, but is afraid to give themselves a shot in the stomach and is afraid to start. You could share your journey and maybe you'd help somebody else too. And my best video I have on my Anchor Moments YouTube channel was the 3rd week on my, and it said 3 weeks on Mounjaro, what I wish I knew. And that was the title and thumbnail of that video. And I decided to go live. Jeff was still working and he was recovering from bladder cancer surgery when he'd never had cancer before. Last year was a year. It was a year. But and he was still working and stuff. And it takes him a long time to edit a video. And I thought, you know what? I'm not tech savvy, but I'll be able to figure out how to do a live. I'm just going to figure it out so that way I can do it myself. And I don't have to rely on Jeff to edit for me. And it could be just out there and do it. So I did my very first Anchor Moments live, my 3-week video. When I went live that day, I don't know who watched me. But when I go and I look at my analytics on the back of my YouTube channel, like right now we have 47 people watching. When I was on my 3-week of doing this and I did my very first live, one person somewhere in the world was watching. But there was just one person. But one person was watching that video while I shared what I wish I knew. I've had this Anchor Moments YouTube channel since November of 2019. And anchor moments are those moments in your life that you felt God's presence and it anchors your faith. And so my channel, I do believe that we have a loving God who loves everyone. And I didn't grow up in a church. And so I didn't really discover God until later. But I always craved hearing stories, and not Bible stories. I want to hear stories from real people. Where do you see God in your life? Is God still alive today? And where are you seeing him in your life? And so that's what my channel was about. And that's the videos I still have 2 playlists about that: Anchor Moment Minutes and Anchor Moments on HSBN, Holy Spirit Broadcasting Network. I was on their network for a year or 2 after I wrote my Anchor Moments Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness book. One person that I interviewed, Elena, on my show, Elena talked about the power of one. And she said she had started doing yoga at her church. And the first day that she led a yoga class, only one person showed up. And she didn't cancel the class. She did that class for the one person. And then the next week, still just that same one person showed up. And it took a few weeks before more people started coming. But she decided, because she felt God calling into her heart, that it's worth her time to do it if it helps at least one person. Now, when she does her yoga classes at her church, there's hundreds of people show up for yoga. They have to go in like a big gym. Sometimes they go on the roof of the church and they'll do rooftop yoga. She has, yes, Elena has hundreds of people. But in the beginning, it was just one person. one person showed up for, a few weeks in a row, and they put it in the church bulletin, hey, come for yoga. I don't know, I can't remember. She had a special name for her yoga, but whatever, special, the yoga class. And now she has a whole bunch. And she used to do, I'd catch every now and again some of her, she has a YouTube channel too. And she'll do like a yoga minute in the morning. And sometimes she's like on the beach and different places. And you know what? Sometimes there's only like three. I look and she'll only have like 3 or 4 views. And her stuff is amazing. She's so fabulous. But you know what? She's doing it for the power of one. So so it's just kind of neat. Looking back over this year, that very first time I went live, I had one person. I don't know who that one person was, but there was one person in this world who was there and was listening. And I could see, because there's like a little eyeball thing that shows me how many people, and I could see there was one person there. And so it was like having a talk with a friend, a new friend. And that's another thing I wish I'd learned before I started. And I was nervous. Do I really take my shot or not? And do I really put it on the internet that I'm doing this, and on my YouTube channel? And I have the best Anchor Moments community ever. I look forward every Monday doing these Mounjaro Monday lives, and I get all excited when I see my different friends pop up. And these are friends I've never met before. And I have friends now in the UK. And I've never been to England, and I have friends, Lucy and Freya and Linda, people who show up from the UK, because I also do on Sunday afternoons now, and I do it in the afternoon on Sundays, a weight loss book club, because I started getting a UK audience. And when, Linda was like, oh, when you do it, or Freya, Lucy was like, she has to get up middle of the night to watch my shows to catch it live. Otherwise, she's just watching on replay. But it's really fun when you can catch it live. And so I made it be in the afternoon. So that way in the UK, it's 9 o'clock at night. So it's a reasonable time. So anyway, I had no idea that I would make friends from all around the world, and really good friends. And today, I think that's the most that I wanted to share about my 1-year journey. Oh, and in this year, I wish I could have told myself before I took that first shot when I was scared that a year from now, Gina, you're going to be down 37 pounds. You're going to still keep losing. Your stomach's not going to be grumbling all the time. You're going to have a lot less food noise. Your A1C, for the first time since you've been diabetic, is 5.6, which is the healthy, normal person range. 5.6. I had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, stage 1. And after being on Mounjaro for like 7 or 8 months, I had my liver ultrasounded at the Arizona Liver Institute, and my fatty liver disease disappeared. I don't have it anymore. There's not fat on my liver. It's healed. It's gone. My 5.6 for type 2 diabetes, I think you'll always have type 2 diabetes. It's like it's in remission. It's controlled. If I stop my healthy lifestyle and stop Mounjaro, it very well, it'll just go right back up again. But while I am doing all the things, exercising and drinking water and eating fruits and vegetables, every day, and and meat too. I am a carnivore, but eating more healthy. My A1C is like a normal person, and that is like amazing. So I wish I could have looked into a crystal ball when I was scared holding that shot the very first day, and know that a year from now, I'm going to have this weight off and not go up and down by big amounts with my weight, not yo-yoing, but a nice, slow peeling the fat off, and having higher nutrition and a healthier body. So and I also needed to know before I took that first shot. You know, when you go on different Facebook groups and stuff and you see people losing, you know, I lost 100 pounds in 8 months or whatever. And you're like, wow, you know, I hope I can lose, you know, if I lost 2 pounds a week, I'd be down 100 pounds in a year. Well, some people are slow responders, which is me, but it's still coming off, but slower. But there are people who are super responders and their bodies really help, like my buddy Pam. Yes, who I'm going to put on the screen in just a minute here. Pam is willing to do an interview with me, and I'm so excited. Pam also has a YouTube channel. It's Pam, let's see, Mounjaro Journey with Pam. And I've watched a bunch of her videos, and she has lost over 160 pounds. 160. 160 pounds. We were a couple minutes late starting this evening because we had just gotten the pictures that she has some before pictures. So we're going to show you some of her before pictures too. And some of you already know Pam because she shows up on my lives on Mounjaro Mondays. And sometimes she shows up on our weight loss book club on Sundays. And so a lot of us have gotten to know Pam, and now we're going to be able to see her. And I'm going to be putting her video on here, and we're going to be able to ask her questions. So that way you're not just stuck with someone who, gosh, didn't you say you were 37 pounds down last week too, Gina? Yeah, I maintained this week. I didn't lose, didn't gain, but I maintained. But hey, I maintained. I didn't gain weight. That's a big deal for me. I'm keeping my weight loss off. So, but I want to give you some people, especially from this group. And so if you'd also like to have me interview you too on a Mounjaro Monday Live, let me show with the banner here real quick. You need to email me, Gina@anchormoments.com, and we'll set up a time that you can do it. And if you can't do it on Monday, we could do it another day of a week. Jeff is now retired, and I'm flexible right now. Pretty much, I'm just doing the content creator thing. So anyway, we could do it a different day of the week too. It wouldn't even have to be on a Mounjaro Monday. So anyway, that's how you would get a hold of me right there. And let's get, yep, let me go back to.
Hide it. Move your mouse over here.
Okay, hide. There we go. All right. And now Pam, she has lost over 160 pounds. Pam is a school teacher. She teaches high school health. How cool is that? And now she's the healthiest, cutest teacher in the building. So and I have a great honor to bring Pam on, and I'm gonna unmute. No, don't unmute her first.
You can unmute.
And then how do I bring her up? Do I go like this? Unmute.
Click on the third one.
Click on the third one. And was there anything else you wanted to tell me, Jeff? Or you were sitting by me to help me with putting Pam on, right?
I'm sitting here to help you.
Oh, I love you.
And then
Thank you.
You can show the screen later.
Okay. All right. Now we got to unmute her so that way we can hear Pam. Wait, she's still muted. How do I unmute her?
Click it.
It says
Click
can't unmute your guest because they chose. There we go.
Hi, Gina, Jeff.
Hey, so we got Pam in the house. And she's really in the house. Look, she's right there on my screen. Yay! This is so awesome. And Pam, you have had quite the journey. And didn't you also try doing some of the surgeries for weight loss?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So 24 years ago, I had the open gastric bypass down in San Diego. And they were starting to do the laparoscopic procedures. And I was too afraid to risk the possibilities of like the doctors not knowing exactly what to do. So I decided to go ahead and go with open because they were very knowledgeable and experienced with the open. But that open surgery actually has caused me to get a hernia, which looks like a tumor. I know it. I had it repaired. I had an emergency surgery, and then I had a repair. And now I'm in the process of having to get that repaired again. So that's that's a whole nother story. And then even in 2014, I had a gastric revision. So I went to a different doctor, actually
Okay.
over there by Beverly Hills. A really good, I had a recommendation. My daughter even had gastric bypass with this, this medical facility, this group at Kalili Center. It's like a KHALILI, and fabulous group. And I had a revision. And what they did with that revision is they said my pouch had stretched out. And so they went in and they made the pouch smaller again so that they would, try to see if that would help to lose the weight again. Because I had actually, before gastric bypass, I weighed 310 pounds. And then I was a really fast loser, even with gastric bypass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think before the year, I was already down to like a little bit less than 160. I didn't quite get down to where I am right now. So I was
Okay.
like maybe like 158 or 155. And I did pretty good for a couple of years. But what I would say is after, I think for me, the regain happened whenever I stopped exercising, I stopped walking, I would come home stressed out, tired, and I would cook the easiest thing I could cook and then go sit down on the recliner, watch my soap operas, get caught up on my soap operas, and sometimes I would even fall asleep on the reclining sofa. So, those are the years. And I remember feeling my blood sugar, because with gastric bypass, if you eat too much sugar, you get a dumping syndrome. And it's like that. Yeah. And you'll probably know this feeling whenever your blood sugar goes low, you get jittery and you're just like, I need to go get some sugar. I need something real quick to make that blood sugar go up. Well, I kept doing that and I would eat the wrong things. You're trying different foods and you're like, what, can I eat this? Can I eat that? And it automatically makes you feel sick. And I know Barb had I think Barb had a similar surgery. And I don't think that.
Just a second. So some of us know who Barb is, but I get some new viewers sometimes too. Barb is the first guest that I've had that's done a Mounjaro journey. Barb has a YouTube channel called Health at Any Cost. And Barb has lost like 270 pounds or so on Mounjaro. And she also had like a gastric bypass, one of those weight loss surgeries years ago, lost weight, gained it back. But Mounjaro's been different for her, and it's so much better. And she is at her smallest weight, where her doctors are like, okay, you got to stop losing now. You're done. It's time to just work on maintenance. And she has a very inspiring story on here where she shared about that too. But yeah, so that's who that Barb is. Okay, back to you, Pam.
So so then in 2014, I had that revision. And it was kind of similar. I only lost about 50 pounds. Oh, and I was saying I was 310 pounds before gastric bypass.
Okay.
And it was August 16th, 2000. So 24 years ago. And then over the years, and I would say probably 5 years after the surgery, I had regained all of the weight back. And then with the revision, I went down about 50 pounds. And, they were very prompt, they were very excited and they said, oh, we know this is going to help you to re-lose the weight. And I don't know, I don't know if I just didn't have the right mindset or, wasn't active enough, but it's weird this time around. And I didn't know about Mounjaro as early as everybody else did. I didn't even know about Ozempic. I hadn't heard of all the things, but I had gone in. Being a teacher, you get really busy, and I wasn't going to the doctor until the summertime. I would teach summer school. So late July is whenever I would go to the doctor and try to get everything caught up. So my A1C was 6.0. Now I have a feeling that it was probably higher than that, but the 7 months prior, I had started walking again and kind of eating more low carb, like the diet that I should be eating with the gastric bypass. And I had lost 45 pounds. So hearing after losing 45 pounds and exercising, walking, I was pretty much just walking. I was surprised that my A1C was even 6.0. But diabetes runs in my family, and my
And
dad,
6.0 is the pre-diabetic range, but it alerts doctors that you're getting close to being
yes,
diabetic.
because
6.5 is officially diabetes.
for years I was about 5.8, and they kept saying, "Hey, you're getting close. You know, you need to do something." And even I have two half siblings. Not that I'd call it, but we have the same dad, different moms, but our health is so similar. My older sister and we have so many similarities. She had gotten into the diabetic range, the low part of it, and was taking metformin. And she's about 8 years older than me.
Okay.
We have another brother who's about 6 years older than me, and he had the uncontrollable diabetes. He wasn't taking care of himself, and he would end up in the hospital a lot with foot, toe infections and all those kind of things, the skin issues. So COVID got him. He was in the hospital. Yeah, he was in the hospital. Got the pneumonia, the bronchitis, and then it turned into pneumonia, and he wasn't walking around. And he had just been released to a recovery center, and all of a sudden, I think his body gave out. So yeah, so that was pretty scary to hear. But my sister started Mounjaro, and then when I went to the doctor's office and she said, "Do you want to start taking some medicine?" And she put me on metformin. That's when my daughter told me, "Hey, I have coworkers who are going to like a wellness center and they're taking some medication, they're losing weight. Look at so and so, she's working out, she's lost weight. Maybe you could ask her about it." And my daughter actually told me the name Mounjaro, so I called the doctor's office, and within a couple of days, nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
She used to work with a weight loss doctor, and she has always been so fabulous. So she sent in my prescription. It got approved. Yeah, and as a teacher, I have my insurance with. We have a independent insurance with our teachers organization. It's a really big one here in our area. And at first, all I had to do was pay a copay. Like I think it was $25.
Mm-hmm.
And I started off, doing the 2.5. So I started Mounjaro at the first week of August 2023.
Okay.
And
And you
go ahead.
weighed about how much then?
So at that time, I had lost 45 pounds, and
Right, you were walking and
yeah, I
low
started
carb.
changing. Yeah, I started changing my lifestyle again, and the things. And I'll tell you my why here in a second. So I was about 268 whenever I started Mounjaro. Yeah. And then I did the 1 month of 2.5, and she said, "Here's some Zofran. You might get nauseous." Never really talked about constipation. And then after the month, we titrated up to 5, and I think we did 5 just for 2 months. I wasn't losing a whole lot, but I lost like a little bit. I don't know, 4 pounds, 6 pounds, and then went up to the 7.5, and I lost a little bit more. And then in January of 2024, we went up to 10. And that's what made such a huge difference. From the 10, I rode that out for 10 months. And
Wow.
I would lose between 6 to 10 pounds every month. And all along the way, I had I had wiggles. In January, I finally I was watching Countess of Shopping, and she said,
I watch her sometimes too, yeah.
yeah. I bought the Renpho Smart Scale, and I wish I had that one sooner. And it showed I had these wiggles, and I'm a daily weigher. My daughter tells me I should be doing that, but I want to see data, and I get to see it how it fluctuates. And yes, there were days where I would get disappointed because it went up, and then I would see it go down. And so I had to start learning and telling myself, this is how your body's working. but every time you go up, you get nervous. And I'm like, oh, it's 3 pounds up. And then guess what? Drop 5 pounds. Like you do the whoosh. So, and yeah, so it was pretty consistent. And it was late September that I got to my goal weight. And here's the thing, I kept, changing my goal weight. And whenever you're over 300 pounds, it's mentally, and going through all the things that I did, feeling like such a failure that I went through this drastic surgery that could have killed me. Because I remember that was the whole thing back then. Like, are you going to die? Like, you're going to go into surgery. And taking that risk, here I made this huge, major risk. And then I ate around it, and I snacked, and grazed. I grazed. And if you eat chips and cookies and Hershey Kisses, it goes right through you and you don't feel full. But if I were
so when you have the weight loss surgery, it doesn't stop the food noise. You're still thinking about food. You're still craving food. You're still wishing you could eat the food, even though your stomach is smaller.
Yes.
Is that one of the differences that you've noticed?
Exactly. Because I remember
weight loss surgery.
Yes, I remember being at the hotel that we stayed at in San Diego for 3 days post-op. And,
Of your surgery.
After that original surgery, I armed myself with sugar-free Jell-O pops, broth. And I think at first it's liquid diet. So I had all those things. And it was just like, when do I get to eat again? When do I get to eat again? And then later it was like, you could have mashed potatoes and refried beans, like soft stuff. And I'm like, oh, actual food, it tastes good. Yeah. But, and it was good. I gave up sodas. I gave up diet sodas and regular sodas, because at that time they really truly believe, and I think especially when you first have the surgery, that the pouch, the carbonation could expand the pouch. They even said don't use a straw. Yeah, they even said don't drink through a straw because the air could cause your pouch to get bigger. And so me and my daughter were like, well, that's what I did. I drank from a straw and I stretched it out. Who knows? I've heard from other people, and they say, really, that's more like in your first 6 months, maybe the first year, be careful. But I personally am thinking that because I had that surgery, I still have the working, like it's still a small pouch. I can't overeat it. If I do, and you will hurt until you like get it out. And if I eat protein first, that fills me up. So chicken fills me up, meat fills me up. And that's what I'm supposed to do. So that's what I've been, that's what I focus on now. So in September, I was telling, when you're over 300, it's hard to see, oh my gosh, I would love to be 250. Oh, I can't wait to lose 50 pounds. Because it seems like so hard, and especially when you try so many things. And I could list off a whole thing, Nutrisystem, Jenny Craig, just so many diets. And then getting under 250 was so incredible. And then to get close to 200 again, I remember being like 220 in college, because I remember in college, that's whenever I kind of ballooned up. I was pretty decent size. I was even a cheerleader. And I was like probably the fluffiest cheerleader, but I was like 150. And which for me, I'm surprised. I'm 5'4", but 150 looks really good on me. Like I'm
right.
I look thinner. I don't know. I don't understand, but I carry my weight in the my lower half more. So maybe that's why. I was the only cheerleader who could do the splits for a long time, and then they all started learning. But once I got to college, the pound, like you're away from your parents, you can eat what you want. My brother wasn't there competing with me to eat the ice cream, and I was like, I had moved into an apartment, and I was like, I get to eat whatever I want and whenever I want.
Right.
So yeah, that's where the weight started coming on originally. And I remember doing Richard Simmons when I was like 220.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Richard Simmons and Denise Austin were my biggest workout buddies.
Yeah. And Jane Fonda. I had
And
the
Jane
Jane Fonda tape, and feel the burn. Yeah.
yes, do the pony, the leggings and the jazzercise.
Yeah, I did exercise too.
Yeah, yeah. But so September, I got to when I was thinking about goal weights, I wasn't sure, like, how long is this going to take me? Who knows? Nobody really knows about the GLP-1s. We don't know how much we're going to lose. And so it was just kind of a guessing game. And I thought, okay, well, my body's going to probably stop when it's ready to. So let's just keep writing it, seeing how things go. I'm going to keep continuing with my new lifestyle changes. And I give myself one thing I had decided, and other friends of mine who are also on GLP-1s, we all have said, you know what? I'm not going to deprive myself, because then that leads to a binge eating,
Yeah.
over, and that food addiction. That
Yep.
if I want a cookie, go ahead and have a cookie. But I don't know, it's different this time. Like, I'm satisfied with just one or two cookies. I don't need to eat half of a package.
Right.
Yeah, like and I actually feel full too. Me and my husband were at one of our newer Mexican restaurants that are a favorite by our daughter's house, and we used to eat, like, order 3 tacos. Well, I think after a while I started realizing I could only eat 1 taco, and the small street tacos, those little small ones. And he said, I noticed that you're not eating as much as you used to. And I said, yeah, I feel full. Like, I literally feel like my pouch shrunk again, and that it hurts if you eat more, like it's going to push it. And so maybe, I don't know. I know that whenever I was younger and I would lose weight, my mom would tell me, like, oh, you're not eating as much because your stomach's shrinking. You can't.
Yeah, my mom used to say that too.
Yeah, I maybe there's some truth to it, because it's a muscle, maybe, so I definitely feel the difference, and I feel full faster. So maintenance started pretty much in October. And before I got to see my doctor, I thought, let me slow down this weight loss, because I'm still losing 10 pounds. And sometimes I would think, oh, I'm not going to lose 10 pounds. And then all of a sudden, the last week of the month, like I'm losing 5 pounds. And so I started stretching out. I was hearing other people stretching out their dosage for 10 days, or their injection from 7 days to 10 days. So I tried that. It kind of slowed it a little bit, but there wasn't a big difference. And so I went to the doctor. I think I was like 163 to 165. And I said, I think I would like
You're
to
already down over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I said, can I'd like to titrate down. I'm here to titrate down to 7.5. Let's go down a dose. And she said, okay. But it was funny, because the people in the office thought I was there to go up. Like, they're used to everybody asking to go up.
You're like, I want my 12 and a half now, because we've been on 10 for so long. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no. And so I did 7.5 for 2 months. And even up until, like, even Thanksgiving and just before Christmas, no, let's say Thanksgiving, I was doing 7.5, and I lost 10 pounds again. It was like from October 23rd to November 23rd, I lost 10 more pounds. And I got down to I got down to 143. And my daughter said, Mom, you're looking really thin. Your cheekbones are poking out. You're looking very bony and older. Like, I'm a little concerned that you're losing too much. And I thought, I really thought that my body was going to just stop losing weight when it felt like it was needing to stop. But I guess not. Yeah. And right. Well, my nurse practitioner said, you probably would already weigh less, but I have lymphedema in my legs. That's where I carried my weight. And she's like, you have the excess skin now. She's like, I bet you if you didn't have those things, she said, you would weigh less. So she's like, I remember one doctor said, you're really tiny. Like, my neck was really tiny. And I was like, wow, nobody's ever told me that, especially a doctor. And then I went to the dermatologist last month, and I said, let me just show you. like, is this normal? And I showed them my sternum, and it was like, because I can feel it, and I feel this like round bump. And they're like, yeah, that's your sternum. Like,
I haven't seen it in a long time on me.
I'm
Not
like,
very.
I don't think I've ever felt it and seen it. Um, but just like with gastric bypass, it's like you melt from the top down. So I melted from the top down, but and a lot of the fat came off from the top. And here's the funny thing. So I've been on 5. So now I'm on 5 milligrams. And on Thursday was my 3rd injection being on 5. And the week of Christmas, all of a sudden the scale started going up. And so from 143, just after Christmas, I think 2 days after Christmas, December 27th, I weighed and I was 147. Then I was 153. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And one Saturday morning, a week ago, I was 155. And I said, well, okay, I've been eating Christmas cookies. We were talking about how I was losing too much and I should eat more. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have.
Fix that.
I'll fix that. So, but I also, it was holidays. I was only drinking 1 40-ounce tumbler. Wasn't
So you
drinking
need more
2.
water.
Oh yeah, I wasn't drinking as much water. And I had gotten a vibration plate in, I think, October. We were talking about that on here. And
Yeah,
I
it makes
went
such
about,
a difference with the lipedema.
yes, I went about 3 or 4 days without using it. And all of a sudden I got on and I saw the scale and I could feel that whole day. I felt heavy, like something was going on with my legs. And I'm like, my pants feel weird. And then I reached down and I looked at my inner knees, like the knee area, the inner thigh and knee. They were so swollen. And from the knee down, it was hard and swollen. And then my pants or the socks had squeezed in at the bottom. So I had this ridge at the bottom. And I was like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, I haven't seen my legs like this since I was 300 pounds. And I was like, I felt like, the movie, The Nutty Professor,
Yes.
the one with Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Yes. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like that. I'm going to stop taking the pill and I'm going to blow up.
So some of that weight that you were seeing on the scale, it wasn't fat. You were holding water in your legs because you weren't doing the vibration plate, getting that down.
Yes, and I noticed I wasn't getting any output, not going to the bathroom as much as I had been too. So that's when I was like, oh wow, I'm retaining water. So yes, so I started making sure I had my electrolytes and drinking more water. I'm still struggling. Like there's some days where I get it all in, and like today I'm already behind.
And also, Pam, real quick, electrolytes are like a lot of different things in life. A little bit is good. Too much is bad. Because if you have too much electrolytes, then there's too much sodium in that, and that's going to make your legs retain water too. And so, so there is a balance. So if you're going to do the electrolytes, you just don't want to do too much. Maybe just cut down on that a little bit. So a little is good. Too much is bad, especially with lipedema.
That's what I've been wondering about too. Like maybe because I had gotten used to doing like 1 pack of like the element electrolytes in my water. And I started thinking maybe because I'm in a lower dose, because I truly believe that the Mounjaro has been helping the inflammation. We've talked a lot about our knees. Like I had arthritis. I have arthritis in my knees, but the pain has really subsided to where I could get on the ground. I could do a plank. I could kneel. I wasn't able to kneel at church. Like I would have to, I felt so guilty. I would just, scoot up to the edge of the seat and put my hands on the pew and try to make it look like I was kneeling.
Yes, me too. Yes, yes. And at Mass this Sunday, I was able to kneel for the entire time until it was time to sit down again. I couldn't believe it. But yeah,
Yes. Oh my
I
gosh,
feel you.
that is
Yes.
incredible. And then being able to go up the stairs, because just like last week, you were talking about how you have to go, you go down a step and then it's like the same step goes down. And when you go up, for me, I can't remember if it was like left foot up and then right foot down or vice versa. But it was always like step, continue, step or catch up, step, catch up. That's
Yes.
how that's how I had to
Right.
do stairs and hold on to
Me
the railing.
too. Oh
It was
yeah.
exactly the same as what you were describing. Yeah. Oh,
And now I can just walk up and downstairs like a normal person. I
yeah,
can't
like a normal
believe it.
person. One foot at a time. I'm so excited
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. And it's funny. My daughter's we were at the hospital, and I haven't told you too much about that whole part, but we were at the hospital, and we go downstairs to get Starbucks, and then instead of taking the elevator, she went to the stairs, and I was like, I go, I can't take the stairs. And this was when I was about maybe 250-ish, somewhere around there, 250 to 260-ish. And she's like, yeah, you can, come on. I was like, oh, and she's like my dad. She's got that personality. She makes me do something that I'm afraid to do. So she pushed me to do it. And I got up there, and I still, like, I could go up the stairs. But I can't remember. I think I was still doing one leg at a time, and I kind of had to hold myself. And then I thought, wow, I actually went up the stairs. Let me do this again. So I kept doing it. And then I started doing, I was, losing weight. And this was over some time. And finally I got to walk up like a normal person. And then it's like less and less like, oh, wow, now I can walk up without holding. Cause I still sometimes will stay close to an edge because I never know if my knee's going to like buckle and, give
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's been incredible. And now I've been doing every day. I'm in a group called MOBA, and we do exercises. And this month we're doing a challenge on arm exercises. Last month it was legs, and I was learning how to do sumo squats, regular squats, and when you can do these squats on the vibration plate and do your arm weights on the vibration plate. And I noticed after I do the vibration plate, I go to the bathroom. And
Yes, because it's shaking some of that water out of you. Yeah. Yeah, and
yes,
the lymphatic, it's draining your lymphatic system.
yes, it works. It's incredible. I heard it even
It
helps
really
people with
is.
constipation too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
want to interrupt you here, but we do have, if you want to show pictures at any point in time,
oh yeah.
ready to do that.
Yeah.
We have it ready to go. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to say right now or whenever, but it's there.
Do you guys do it?
Oh,
Yeah.
ready?
How do you do it, Jeff? We have her before pictures. So do you click it?
No.
How do we add it?
We do. There we go.
That was 2018 on the Disney cruise, and I was working on a post-grad. We had just finished post-grad certificate in working with adults with disabilities, and my daughter passed her licensing as an LCSW. So we went from San Diego to Mexico. Whew, yeah. So, and I was about 313. And now here I was this was a work trip. I think sometimes I got down to like maybe 290, yeah, about 290 if I was doing a really good low carb at the time. So I was a little bit less in this one. Let's see. Oh, yes. And I think this was during COVID. And I was doing a picture after trying out some skincare. And I think I was somewhere around that 300 mark. Me and my husband. So this was in Sacramento, a work trip, or not a work trip, but I was doing some more training on learning how to work with adults with disabilities. And yeah, I think I was definitely about 313 there. There's my
Still
husband.
super cute though. You're such a pretty lady,
Oh, thank you.
I'm going to see if this works. Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, there we see there.
Wow, look at that
We're still learning
technology.
StreamYard things. This is the first time we've learned how to put a picture up. I wish I could have done this when we had Barb. When we had Barb, all the
cool.
nitty got to who is in the chat. So we'll be reading chats and answering questions. So if anyone has any questions for Pam, put it in the chat, and we'll be going over answering some of those and reading those questions and comments here in a little bit.
So before I became, I've only been a health teacher in high school for 5 years. For 20 plus years, I was a college counselor. And so this was at the college that I was working at. They asked for a profile picture, and I was being asked to present at a conference about a program that we had been working on. And so I had my coworker take a picture of me, and I was like, let me put on a jacket so I can kind of disguise myself. And then we cropped it so we could crop the lower half, the things that we do. And I was like, look at that. Here's, you're trying to find full-size pictures, because this is the one time that I started a diet that I did not measure myself at the beginning. And I did not do like a before picture or videos or week updates or monthly updates. So because I felt like I didn't want, somebody told me this in a comment one time, it's that feeling of you don't want to feel like you're failing again and you're not sure if it's going to work. Yeah.
Yes.
And like having evidence. Yeah.
And we did that, Pam. So we did in 2020, 21, in October of 2020, we did something called the 4-4-4 plan, where we ate 400 calories 4 times a day, 4 hours apart. So that's why we called it the 4-4-4. And Jeff lost 72 pounds, and we did all kinds of videos about it as we were losing weight, and I lost 47. And then we went on a family vacation, gained 11 pounds in 1 week with the family. And then we just couldn't do it anymore. We tried, we could do it for like a day or two, and then we binge, and then a day or two, and then binge. And we didn't gain all of our weight back, but a lot of our weight back. I mean, I gained back 40 of the 47 pounds, and I was like, oh no. And that's when I started Mounjaro. But it's all documented. You can see it. We have a playlist. You can see us, start to go down, but it is hard when you do go publicly, especially on a YouTube channel, because if it doesn't work later, well, there you are. But I thought, you know what? That's okay. I'm going to just be open and honest and share the journey, because I'm not on a diet anymore. I'm on a journey.
Yes.
Lifestyle journey till I die.
That's true. Yes. I know. Oh, and this is before my revision. So this was around, so this is was my revision in 2010? You know what? I was saying my revision was in 2014. It's actually, the revision was in 2010. So 14 years ago. So this is 2010. And on this one, I think I did it before and after. So this is my front. I don't know. Did I send you the side version? And I think I have, and this is when I turned 50.
Oops, sorry.
I think I sent it to you out of order. So this is my daughter's on the right, and then I'm on the left. Yeah, and I'm around that 300 to 313. And 5 years ago when I turned 50, that was our trip. We went to Napa Valley, and she's been really good. She had gastric bypass in 2011. It's so funny. I was like, why did I send this picture? But this was kind of like as you're going along, and I think that I was closer to my goal weight, and I'm like, I know why I took this picture. This shirt, the button-up shirt, is my older grandson's shirt. We were cleaning up. Yeah, we were cleaning up the clothes, and I put it on. I was like, I really like the color of this and the pattern, and it buttoned. And I sent him this picture, and I said, "Can I have this shirt?" And I can't believe, I'm like, I can fit into the kids they're 22, almost 17 and 9. And it's so cool because I'm like, and even my husband's clothes, like just to be able to wear them, like my husband's always around 185, waist size 34. And to be able to fit into his clothes, I was like, look, I can fit into your clothes, your shirt.
That's funny. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I don't know. One of those selfie pictures that you post on social media, and that was definitely looks like a 313 era. This is on a Napa dinner train, Napa Valley dinner train. So, yeah, 5 years ago. So so on the left, we are smashing grapes at the winery.
Oh,
And
fun.
yeah, and and at one point I actually even got up to 322, but it was like the year before. It was probably after this picture. But for the most part, I was around 313. And then on the right, I think I was like 163-ish because I was thinking, I was finally happy with my legs because the legs were the last to go down.
Mhm.
And yeah. And so, yeah, I think I was somewhere around that 163 or yeah, 163. Like I always have to remember because I'm so used to saying two that sometimes I say 200. So I've been using this for my before and after.
Well, yeah, it's such a cute picture. Actually, both pictures are so cute.
Oh, thank
So
you.
that's at 163, but today you're like in the 150s, right?
Yes. Okay. So I know I went down even more than that. So I had gone down to 143. I'm still holding on to a little bit of that fluid. So I'm about 153 today.
Okay.
I think it was like 152.4 or something. So I'm about 153 right now, which my goal weight when I finally said, you know what, I look pretty good in the 150s. It was really cool to be in the 140s for about a month. I was like, wow, I've never been in the 140 since, I don't know, junior high or something.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so, so I don't know. I know mentally I'm thinking as long as I can be around that range, like the 155-ish, then I think that's a good mark. But
Yeah.
boy, mentally it's so nice to see 140. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha.
Oh, 2018. So yeah,
I
oh
mean, I
yeah.
bet you that's 2018.
I know. Yeah, so this is San Diego, I think. Yeah, so this is when we got to go down there to some classes. So yeah, I was about 313
Mission
here.
Beach?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
We spend our honeymoon at the Catamaran
Oh.
resort on Mission Beach and
Mission Bay.
Mission Bay.
Oh
And
yeah, Mission Bay, yeah.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So I have pictures by that
That
pier.
pier there, yeah. That was fun. And I thought I was feeling pretty good. I was like, oh, I was proud of myself. I had a tank top on. Thought I was looking
Mhm.
pretty good.
Yeah, very cute.
I think that's all the pictures I have.
Oh, okay.
If you had more, I am sorry.
No, 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 no. I think that's it. I
Oh,
think you're
good,
right.
Right.
good.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like it's hard to, every once in a while I stumble on some pictures, but whenever you're bigger, every time I took a group picture, I would hide behind people,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
show my face. Yeah,
Mhm.
focus on the face and hide behind people and try to take the picture from up high so the double chin doesn't
Right.
come out.
Right. It's not the Jabba the Hutt look. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you wanted me to tell you a little bit, or I don't know how we're doing on time.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about YouTube. It's when we're done, we're done. And we've
Well,
got
we have some
questions that
comments
we
and
need to
Yeah,
questions.
I do
answer
have questions.
too. And
I wonder
uh
if anybody has questions for us.
oh, there is all kinds of
Please.
comments we have not even started yet. So we will do that now too.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's just so exciting. It's just so neat that you're willing to share your journey with us,
Can
Pam.
Thank
And
can I
to
tell
see in
you?
person, like here you are.
I know it. I'm telling. So if everybody, all of our friends in the comments, as soon as I got on the screen, I said, "You guys are like my friends. I feel like we're just visiting like we normally do. It's not.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel weird or at all."
exactly. Because you see the different people in the comments, and you're like, oh my gosh, Deb's in the house. And and all the different,
Exactly.
all of our special peeps.
I
Yes.
do
you.
want to say real quick, and I'll make it a fast I'll make it a fast story. But my whole journey, December 23rd, 2022, started when I was in the hospital with my grandson. He's here at the house. He's in remission of leukemia. And he, at a children's hospital, they let you stay in the rooms with them. And his doctor, I said, "Oh, guess what? We got Zayden out to walk down the hall." And his doctor, who had also been a cancer patient, said, "Oh, well, you should go walking too." And I said, "Oh my gosh, your doctor said I need to go walking." And my grandson said, "Well, Grandma, I am worried about you because you haven't been able to keep up with us when we go to Disneyland, and you're always tired and you take naps." And he's like, "You're struggling, and I'm worried about you, Grandma. I want you to be here with me and help me out too. And I don't want anything to happen to you." And so that's what it took. That was
That was your why.
that was my why.
On Mounjaro and pushing through one more
Yeah.
time, giving it a shot.
Yes,
Wow. That's a good story, and that's a good why. Yeah. I want to
definitely,
be around for my grandson too, and be able to get on the floor and play. And I did get on the floor actually in the month of December. He's supposed to have tummy time, Alexis told me. So it's like, all right, I'll do tummy. And then I was thinking, dang, if I get on the floor for tummy time, will I be able to get back up? But I had to lay out because he doesn't like doing tummy time unless someone's on the floor with him. So, but I was so excited I could do it. And a year ago, I couldn't have done tummy time.
me
Because
neither.
I'd get
You've
up
got
and it would hurt
tummy
my
time,
knees.
just not get back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it was hard to get. If I had to get on the ground, I really avoided it because it hurt so bad. It was excruciating. And even if I grabbed onto the bed or anything, it was hard. It was so hard. Hey,
Yeah,
Gina, while you're asking some questions, can I excuse myself to the bathroom real quick?
sure. You go ahead. You go do that.
Turn
I'll
off the
hit the
camera.
question that's not about you.
Okay.
While you take a quick potty break there. Okay. Well, I want to do Nathan.
I was going to make sure that it was
Oh.
muted is all.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Perfect. Nathan's in the house. Woo, woo, hey, Nathan. And he says, "Hello, I'm watching from Maine. Super excited to watch your live, Gina." Oh, thanks, Nathan. And I hope you don't mind. I keep telling your story, but it's such a good one. And hopefully someone else will not take 2 shots in a day because they thought their first one didn't go in when it did. Oh my goodness. And we got Bia in the house. Woo, woo. And Bia says, "Hi, Gina. Happy Mounjaro Monday. I'm watching from Allentown, Pennsylvania." And yeah, we're going to find out. We're finding out, Logan, and glad to have you here too. Oh, yeah. And let's see. And Nathan saying hi to Pam. And this was all right before we went live. Oh, and Nathan says, "I have a non-scale victory. I'm going to be getting a treadmill to walk on, and I've never been more excited in my entire life." Yay, Nathan. I'll be able to walk on that and start losing more weight. Sure. And you can even do while we're doing the Mounjaro Monday lives, you can hop on your treadmill and be walking while you're watching us or whatever. Or if you catch anything on replay, it just fun, especially it just makes watching TV more fun when you can do exercise while you're doing it. It makes it lots easier. And hey, when you get a treadmill, you can't say, "Oh, I can't do it. It's too cold outside, or it's too dark outside, or it's too rainy outside." All those excuses are gone. So that is awesome. I'm excited for you too, Nathan. Oh, wait, more while we're trying to catch up there. Here we go. And we got Deb in the house. Woo-hoo. Hey, Deb. And let's see here.
Where did we start?
Where'd we go here? And we got Paula in the house too. Yay, Paula. And Mindy's in the house too. Woo woo. And Mindy is willing to be one of my guests as well. I had asked her, I don't know, I think maybe a week ago or so. So Mindy, email me and anyone else who would like to be on my show.
And we got all the pictures figured out now, I think.
Yeah, so you can even give us some. And Mindy is a super responder, and I think she's been doing it only about as long as I have. And she's lost twice as much weight, plus more than me. She is a fabulous super responder, and she is training for triathlons too. So I'm really excited. And she even trained for a triathlon when she was overweight. And I just am super excited to be able to have Mindy as a guest as well. So Mindy, please email me. Here's my banner thing here. Where's my email, Jeff?
There.
Show. There we go. So if you'd like to be a guest on my show and you're taking a GLP-1, Gina@anchormoments.com. Okay, and now back to comments here. And I left off on Mindy. Okay, and Mindy's watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yay! We're a bunch of friends here. We really are. And one day we're going to have to visit you, Nathan in Maine. He says, sometimes it's very peaceful and it's amazing to be outside and feel the fresh air. That would be great. Now, how do I add her back on? Do I go like this?
Yes.
And yay! And we got Pam back on, and then we got to unmute her.
Wait,
oh, wait.
Try one more time. Oh, okay, you have to unmute.
No, sorry, that was me. I tapped it.
No worries. No worries.
You know, Barbara and I had surgeries real close to each other. So I had my surgery at Scripps Mercy with Pacific Bariatric, and she was saying in one of the comments that she was with the other big surgery group at the time called Alvarado Hospital in San Diego. And so in where I live in Bakersfield, it is about a 4-hour drive or 3 to 4 hour drive to San Diego. And Alvarado, was hearing about it, but groups like doctors groups would come to Bakersfield and they would have meetings to let you know, like, this is what we offer and we have surgery. And so that's why I ended up going to San Diego from the doctors coming to town. And Alvarado, I heard a lot of people were very successful too from that group.
Oh, very cool. Let's see. All right. Yep, I got scroll here and try not to. Yeah, and Deb's in Vegas, and there's not a lot, and we haven't been getting rain in Arizona either. We're like extra dry, months and months and months since we've had rain.
We need that rain now, especially with these fires around us.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, we are not by the fires.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah, we're about 2 hours north over the mountain.
That's right, because you are in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you get the Santa Ana winds?
Yes. Yeah. So, and this morning when I walked out at 7 a.m., it was very windy. And I thought, oh gosh, I hope it's not windy in LA. Because the thing that usually happens is the smog from LA blows into our valley. So we're the San Joaquin Valley. And when I was a kid, we would go over the mountain range, the Los Angeles forest. And once we got to LA, you would see all the smog. Well, now it's the opposite. All of the smog comes over here.
How interesting.
Yeah, we have really bad air quality here. Yeah.
And it has to be extra bad with all those fires. Oh,
yeah.
My gosh.
Right. Anytime there's fires around any of the mountains, we'll sometimes get ash on our cars and stuff. But the fine particulate matter is really bad. People with asthma. If I wasn't born here, and it's a little more affordable than being in LA, and you have 2 hours to the south to, 2 hours you get to LA, 2 hours to the beach, 2 hours to the mountains, or only 1 hour to the mountains. So we're in a good spot to be we're
To do
around.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Mindy says she grew up on Long Island. Then she lived in northern Japan in one of the snowiest cities in the world. And she's glad to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, Mindy, this spring sometime, I've never been to North Carolina and South Carolina. And Jeff has promised he's going to take me there in our van, Grace. So maybe at some point here, I'll be able to visit you, or, you know.
Japan?
No, not Japan, but in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I was kidding.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to Charlotte, North Carolina.
So
I'm going on a trip with a support group that I joined, and they're having a meetup at the first Saturday of May. When is that? May 2nd? May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, I think. I'm going to Charlotte.
Oh my gosh, you've got to meet up with Mindy, you know, at
I
least when you're
know.
at a restaurant, you know, or like a coffee place and get a cup of coffee or something. But
Yes.
yeah, oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Oops.
Paul says, my dog didn't know what to make of the snow. Now she's used to it. As it's melting, she loves to chew on the ice. Oh my gosh. And I'm glad we got your pics, Pam.
Oh, I was telling them that we couldn't get the pics, and they said that's what they were saying. That
Yeah. But Jeff figured it out for his first time trying to do that. He did it pretty good. Appreciate it. It was a big learning curve, real fast. You know, like 5 minutes before we're going to go on. Here's some pictures. Can you put them up, Jeff? I don't know how to do that. I'm sure we can do it. That's supposed to be one of the things why we bought the expensive StreamYard and not the free StreamYard. And he figured it out. Yeah.
Love techie people for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and we got Cindy, Tess the Bullfrog's mom in the house. Woo-hoo! Yay! Yeah. And yep, and check out Pam's channel. How do we put where it has the it's because I'm doing
Well, I just have to remember what.
yes.
Oh, I can change my name so it shows it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Or do we do it?
Oh, wait,
Did I
wait.
do the wrong one? Or maybe we
Wait,
don't see our
let
name
go.
stuff because I'm doing the
Right.
comments.
No, let's see.
Because I think it would disappear if I stopped doing but we're doing the comments because that's so important. Okay, yeah, that's hers. Mounjaro Journey with Pam. Yeah.
No.
I think it's
That's not it.
no.
Ooh.
Oh, I think it is because we're doing comments.
Because we're doing comments.
I'm sorry. In fact,
It's-
click on hide.
Okay, for just a second. So we got to remember we were off on
Paula G.
Pam. I've got Paula. I'm sorry, Paula G. Oh no.
And you have your
That's my
banner
email.
right now. So go to banner.
I need a Jeff to show me how to do StreamYard.
Oh, that one.
Tried that one.
And
Okay.
there you go. Bing.
Go.
Ooh.
Mounjaro Journey with Pam.
And
That
go
is
like
her
this,
YouTube
it should be
channel.
even bigger,
Yes.
but kind of zooms in kind of funny.
So there we go. All right. And that's how you'll find her. And please like and subscribe to her channel. She's got all kinds of fun videos. And some of her shorts are just hilarious. So really good. So anyway.
You guys are giving me the stage.
Yeah. All right. Now let's go back to comments. And we were on Paula.
Right there.
Okay.
I like whenever I get those funny ones. They just happen. I'm like, oh, I'm going to share it.
Yes.
Nathan is so sweet. He's like one of my biggest cheerleaders.
Yes. I
He's
love
so
him.
humbled.
Yes.
I was telling them before we went live, I said, please don't yell and no curse words because they get all excited on those video games.
Oh my gosh.
You can skip that one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your hair is so beautiful. It's like so long and full.
Thank you. I just got back from the beauty parlor today. I had my roots touched up, and they always give you such a good blowout.
Yeah.
Aww.
It's like the movies.
I appreciate that. Oh, thank
Nice
you.
girl.
Hey, we got Linda's journey in the house too. Hey, Linda.
Oh.
Yeah. And Deb, Monday, were you by the
Mindy.
Alps? Mindy. Oh,
Oh.
my glasses back on.
Yeah,
There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Cindy. It does make a difference if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing to Anchor Moments too, and liking this video. That'd be great because that'll also help Pam as well. Because then more people will see, will learn about Pam and maybe go off to her YouTube channel and check her out too.
The
Okay.
cold air comes off of Siberia, hits the Sea of Japan, and then drops a lot of snow in the mountains there. Snowiest place in the world.
Wow. I did not know that.
I just watched that on, I don't know, YouTube or something.
Yeah, probably, or PBS. And Nathan says, I started doing the shot right after taking it out of the fridge. LOL. I feel it now, and I'm getting the red dot. Yay. So, yeah, you never have to worry about taking a second one. That first one, you'll go, it went in. And, you know, I'm going to try today when I take my shot, I'm going to do it in my stomach straight from the fridge and see how that is. And then after that, I go back leaving it on the counter.
I'm so sorry. I take mine right out of the fridge because usually I'm in a hurry. And for me, I like to take the shot in the morning because I actually feel like I get energy from it. Like I feel energy. Yeah. I used to take it at night and on the weekends and stuff, but now I take it in the morning. And other people say they get tired. If I do get tired at all, it's like the second day, sort of. It's weird. Different. You know how it's different for everybody, but.
Yeah. Do you have any other side effects from Mounjaro, Pam, after doing it for 17 months?
So, you know, the beginning part was the worst with constipation. And so I had to learn, it was like a month into starting to take it. We were on a trip, we went to Joshua Tree, and I noticed, I was like, oh, I haven't been able to go to the bathroom, came home, and it was like a 911 situation. I thought, I don't want to go to the ER. You know, I was just comparing with my sister said the same thing. Like, you get this, you're sweating and you feel like you're going to pass out. It's so bad. And so we were trying all the tips and tricks to try to help get everything out. And after that, I mean, there was still a few times where it's like you live and learn. You're like, I have to stay on top of it. I have to drink the water.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not fun at all whenever that happens. And but yeah, I think that really that's been my only. I never really get nauseous.
How did you get it out when you were severely constipated? How and you're like, and you're sweaty. So I'm sorry, but I just want to know when you were at that point, you haven't gone in days and days, and you were like that miserable. What finally worked? Did you have to go
I could have, if I could have gone to the hospital, it was definitely one of those situations because it was like rocks. It was like clay rocks. And I had learned from a nurse as I was going through college, I worked in a hospital with people doing rehabilitation for injuries, and glove up, excavate, like that.
That's how they
had. Yeah, literally. And then finally I figured out I should go buy some of the Fleet enemas because that helps to get them out. Yeah. So I keep that just in case. I keep a backup of Fleet, enemas, the suppository kind, keep the gloves. We already have gloves in the house anyway, just in case, because you never know. And sometimes it's like some people say they use a popsicle stick. And yeah, that's an option too.
Yeah. But you know what? There may be somebody right now that's like, oh my God, it's been like 5 days. You know, so you never know who you're helping, Pam. You never know. When you can tell your embarrassing story, who are you helping? Get the power of one, even if there's just one person that goes, oh crap, it has been about 5 days. You know, but the Fleet enema would be a good one if you've been.
Yes, I feel like that one helped a lot because I did have to use it one time. And, you know, that one situation I pushed so hard that a bulge was coming out. Like I don't know. Like, I don't know if the skin or if it was a hemorrhoid or something, but yeah.
Yeah. And I have been very blessed because I knew this was a possibility. Because if I'm going to have an issue, that'd be the issue even before Mounjaro. And I've never, I've never had to go to the hospital or anything, but I've had a couple of times in life where it was so hard and it was like passing a baby out of my butt. And I did get if I can't do this, Jeff, you're going to have to take me to the hospital because
it feels like you're in labor.
What am I going to do? Yeah.
You do feel like you're in labor.
Yeah.
You have to breathe.
Yeah. So if anyone's here, if you haven't gone in like a solid week, you've got to call your doctor, because you got to call your doctor and
don't
get
go
that
past 3 days.
Yeah. And so I always stay ahead of it. And so I know, I always try to stay ahead of it. So, and Miralax really has helped me a ton, but you got to drink the water with it. That's, you see me still taking sips, during this, cause I know I've got to keep hydrated. And I tried to shoot for 100 ounces of water a day for me. And my doctor says that's a good amount. But at least 60, between 60 and 100. I'm shooting for 100, but I don't always make it, but that's what I'm shooting for. But less than 60, I'm not going to poop. Oops, I didn't read Linda's.
Isn't that so neat that Linda's gives her the shot? That's so sweet.
Aw, 90% of the time, that is so sweet. Aw, and her grandson too. Aw,
That's so sweet.
That is so sweet. And Deb says, I push on the injector a bit so it leaves a circle. It looks like an alien landing pad.
Crop circles?
Yeah, there you go.
My husband's an alien, so he would love that comment.
Yeah. Oh, and Cindy takes it cold too, and she also pushes hard. But then she knows, if you take it cold, it went in because boy, you really feel that needle. I've only taken it cold. I probably took it cold the one time, my second shot where I did it in the arm, and then I said, the arm did hurt just a smidge. But when I did it in the stomach, it didn't. The difference was when I did it in the stomach, I was so scared. It took me at least an hour before I stuck it in my stomach. So it was room temperature. And when I did it in the arm, I wasn't scared anymore. So I was like, oh, that didn't hurt. That was so stupid. I was so scared. And then did it in the arm right away. And it was like, hey, wait a minute. There's a little tingle when you do it in the arm. Just a little, not horrible, but a little pinch. But yeah, but if I do it in the arm and it's sat out for 30 minutes, it doesn't hurt at all. I can't feel
what else I think that's helping me too is every morning I drink greens, like Kayala greens or Arbonne greens. Mostly right now I'm doing Kayala greens. And one of my friends, Angela, she takes a product called Seed. And I think it's like a prebiotic and probiotic. I saw another big YouTuber who's been using that one too.
Yeah, and I also have like a powdered greens that has a probiotic in it that I pick up at Costco that I use, and it's helpful, and it helps me to get some fiber in and vitamins and stuff from the veggies. Good stuff.
Hi.
Ah, yeah. Let's see. Oh. It's Captain Picard. Just new
Actually,
pajamas.
Captain Kirk, but that's
Okay.
I still appreciate it.
Yes. Yeah. He has the red one too. He does have the red pajamas with that too. And that's Captain Picard. That's what he wore on his last day of work. The day before he retired, he wore his
dress for the job you want.
That's right. And he wore his Star Trek pajamas to work. It was so funny. I took Gina's advice at the beginning of my journey, and those Tums smoothies have been a lifesaver for me.
Lifesavers.
Oh, they are, and they're so good. The smoothies are delicious. Whereas the regular Tums are chalky and kind of, but the Tums smoothies, and they really do make your tummy feel good. Oh, thanks, Mindy. I'm so glad that that worked for you. Yeah.
There I had a typo too.
And Nathan's only been, yeah. Okay, so Nathan, ask your doctor or your pharmacist. Let them know all the medications that you're currently taking, and ask the pharmacist, can you take a daily dose of Miralax? And if your pharmacist or doctor says that you can with the medications you're currently taking, it's a game changer. Then I'm guaranteed I poop every day, but I take my Miralax at night. But you definitely have to drink water with it, or it doesn't work. You've got to have, and not just water while you're taking it,
Right.
but water the
In
whole
addition.
next day too, to keep them packages moving, as my mom used to say. Yeah. And some people do like magnesium. If you take magnesium, be sure to ask your doctor or pharmacist how much. Magnesium, just like electrolytes, the electrolyte drinks, a little bit is great. You got to have a little bit of magnesium or your heart will stop. You have to have potassium, magnesium, water, and a little bit of salt. And if you don't, your heart can't work. You got to have a little. But too much magnesium can give you a bad heart, can give you a heart event. I had a family member who told me that he was taking magnesium, thinking, it'd help him poop and stuff, that'd be a good way to go. And he ended up in the ER because he thought he was having a heart attack or something. And it was, he was taking too much magnesium. And so I think there's even maybe a little warning on there somewhere, but I looked it up because I thought, I don't know if I want to tell my Anchor Moments peeps, hey, go with magnesium, because what if one of them takes too much? I don't want anyone ending up in the hospital because they took too much magnesium and have a heart event. So, and I'm not sure what it was, if it was his heart was racing too hard, or if he was skipping beats, or I'm not exactly sure, but it was doing something to his heart that made him go to the hospital. And he's in the medical field. So it wasn't like he was a ding dong. No, he knew what's going on is not right. I need to go to the ER right now. And come to find out, it was just too much magnesium. He slowed down on, he stopped taking magnesium, either pills or gummies, however he was taking it. And it went away, and now he's fine. So
Who would take too many gummies?
I get the ones at Costco, the ginger turmeric, because turmeric's supposed to be good for you for inflammation. I don't know if it really is or not, but boy, they're really tasty. When you're diabetic and not supposed to have candy, I've been doing the turmeric gummies, but I don't have more than like one or two in a day. But they're pretty tasty. I love gummies.
I do that with fiber gummies sometimes too. It's like a little treat.
Yes, but you don't want to have too many, because that'll stop you up instead of moving things through. So yep, we have to be careful with those as well. But I'm not saying that magnesium is bad, but you do have to find out from your doctor, how much magnesium are you supposed to take if you take it, because too much is horrible. And it could be just a teeny bit, or maybe you already get enough in your magnesium in your diet, and any magnesium gummies too much. I mean, I don't know, but definitely talk to your doctor about that. And Nathan says, I'll have to try that. Yep. So just be careful with that, Nathan. I do not want to lose you. So, be careful. If you go the magnesium route, make sure you know how much to take, and don't take more than you're supposed to take. And Cindy says, I get nausea and constipation, but I do take magnesium daily, and that's helping her. Yep. And it does help a lot of people. Just make sure you take the right amount. And yay, Barb's in the house. Woo-woo. And she made it all. And thank you, Barb. You're so sweet. Yay. Aw, I love you guys. And we do love weird. We'll take weird. Aw. And if anyone has any questions, we'll see if we get some sweet questions in here somewhere. Oh, we got Angelina. Is she one of your buddies?
She's new. She's one of my friends in our group. So I joined a support group called Pop Recovery Systems. And I had heard about it from watching a couple of Instagram people that like Tanya Spanglow. She does water talks and like shows different things that she puts in her water. And she was talking about it. And so I joined this group and we have Zoom meetings a couple times a week, and one of them you pay a low cost every month. You can go to meetings about nutrition, about your mindset, a physical one for fitness, and gosh, there's something else. But and transformation as far as plastics and weight loss support group. And it's really helping to do all the things that were not there that we needed, especially for me with gastric bypass. If I would have had something like that, that probably would have helped a lot. It helps you to stay accountable, gives you motivation. And it's for people who had bariatric surgery and GLP-1s and just on a journey. So I think it's really cool. So she's one of my friends from there that we met from the groups.
Aww. Well, nice that she came to show up for this too. Yeah. That was one of my favorite SNL skits, the colon blow. And for those of you that are too young that you missed it, because I think I was in high school, college when that commercial came up. You can still find it on YouTube. Just search
colon blow.
Colon blow. It is the funniest SNL skit. It is hilarious. Did you? And Mindy, did you read my latest? Oh, let's see. Yep. And Barb also, Health at Any Cost. Not only does she have a YouTube channel, she also has a really good blog on healthatanycost.com. Aw, thanks, Barb. Appreciate that. See, I just love you guys. Trying to balance YouTube and the blog. Yep. And I have a blog too. I haven't written on it for a while, but at anchormoments.com, I have some heartwarming stories on there that I've been having that blog for a few years now. But so if anyone likes heartwarming stories, you can check. And I need to start writing again. Aw, thanks, Cindy. Yeah. Aw. All right. And Nathan says, I'll definitely have to. Oh, yep. Barb, you've inspired me to the point that I'm getting a treadmill in my home.
That's so cool.
I want to start losing weight. I'm over 300 pounds, and I so desperately want to be at least in the 200s. And you will, Nathan. You will. Yeah, Barb, Nathan did share that in the comments, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that he saw the interview of me interviewing Barb on Anchor Moments, and it inspired him so much. Anyway, and I am sure, Pam, you're going to be inspiring so many people. But you know what? Even if you inspire just one person, the power of one, it's worth it. It is absolutely worth it.
So true.
Okay.
I need to get caught up on Barb's post too.
Oh, I know. She has quite a few. And that's so, is it Raina? Is that how you pronounce your name, sweetie? That's so Raina. Sometimes it's hard to share with family and friends. Yeah, I shared that at the beginning of this video. It really is. It's easier sharing with people that you've never, and sharing that journey with other like-minded people who are going on similar journeys. But it is hard to share with family and friends. But you never know. There may be a family member or a friend that it'll make a difference for them, and maybe they'll try and you'll help their health. And Nathan says, it's so awful being at this weight and feeling the judgmental stares. At least I'm trying to work on it. That's a plus. It is. And you're going to make it, Nathan. I know it. And I am going to be cheering for you when you do and cross that 200.
Yes.
Yes. And City says, Nathan, yep, of what you're doing. And we're proud of you. We really are. It definitely helps to have you guys to talk to and have you guys in my corner. Absolutely. I do too. I found out about Mounjaro when it first came out. It was just brand spanking new. My primary care doctor, who's been my doctor for over 30 years, told me about it and said it just came out of clinical studies. People with type 2 diabetes were losing about 50 pounds on it. And he's like, Gina, it's called Mounjaro. And he wrote it on a little slip of paper and handed it to me. And he said, if you want, I will put you on this. And so I went home and called my health insurance, and they weren't going to cover it. It was going to be over $1,000 a month, and I just couldn't afford it. And then a year later, we checked again, and now it covers. And now they do cover it for at least type 2 diabetes, my health insurance. And that's been a game changer. But, I would have loved to have started a year, even a year sooner. That would have been awesome. Hey, we got Snoopy Club in the house. And Snoopy Club says, my doctor wants me to take the Mounjaro 5, but I'm scared. Is it okay? Yes. Now, your doctor, has your doctor prescribed 2.5 first? Because that is the starting dose, and you do that for a month and see how you do. And it's to get your body used to it. So that way, you don't have big, horrible side effects. And there are some people, even though it's a starter dose and it's not the full regular dosage, which 5 is the regular dosage of a regular prescription dosage of it is 5. But if you haven't done 2.5 yet and you're nervous, do 2.5 first and see how your body does. And if you start losing a lot of weight in 2.5, you can do 2.5 again for a bunch of months until 2.5 isn't enough. And then you can go up to 5. But a lot of us go up to 5 the second month and do 2.5 for the first month. And just make sure that you have things in your house for tummy aches or constipation, for either. And, you can ask your doctor, or a pharmacist, are these over-the-counter things, will they work with any other medication I'm taking? And they'll let you know which ones would be okay for you, and have that all ready. And then you can start your journey. And there's a whole bunch of us here that have been doing it for a long time now. Can't believe I'm an old timer now with this, but that really know a lot of ins and outs. And you can ask us questions. I usually respond when people put things in the comments, at least within a day or two. Sometimes within minutes. It all just kind of depends when I'm on my phone or not. But also, I do this live every Monday. And you can ask questions then too. And you can also check out Pam's YouTube channel as well, and ask her questions, or Barb at Health at Any Cost. And one of us will help you for sure. And Cindy says, hi all, thanks for joining Gina and Jeff's live. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's free and it really helps the channel. Oh, thanks, Cindy. It really does. I appreciate that. And Deb says, Nathan, I've been there. You have such a kind spirit. I know good things are ahead for you. Yep. I agree with Deb too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Cindy. And Mindy says, Barb, the blog post is amazing. I've been at work and then with family all day, so I haven't written a comment yet. I'm crying and laughing and smiling with joy that you are here and healthy and my friend. Oh, Barb, I got to get caught up on your blogs too. I am behind. And it sounds like you just posted a really good one. Oh my gosh. And you can find it health@anycost.com. Yeah. Sweet. Yep, they are both amazing. Yes, they are. And Mindy says, Nathan, I weighed 305 pounds at my highest. I'm still obese, but at 185 pounds
great.
in the Wonderland. Yay! My life is so different. Barb gives me so much hope for what's to come. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ah.
That's when we were talking about having chills whenever you were talking about having the one viewer on your first YouTube.
Yeah, the power of one. If I can make a difference for one person when I'm doing a video, that's good enough. You know, it's worth it. It is worth it to help even one person. Ah. Oh. Oh, you guys are so sweet.
Here, I'll hug her for you.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys. Yep, it takes courage for you all to be so transparent and to share your journey. I appreciate you all. Oh, I appreciate you guys so much too. Yep. I'm so looking forward to hitting under 250. Even that would be amazing to see the size reduction in clothes. It really is. And you know, Nathan, this shirt was my favorite shirt 37 pounds ago. And it still fits, but it's nice and it's a little bit blousy now. And I like that it's a little bit blousy, but it used to fit where it was like this. It was more a little more form-fitting towards the bottom here, but now it's got a little bit of looseness. And my favorite store to shop at is Chico's. And especially when you're overweight, because their numbers, they have like, I don't know, 00, which is like silly skinny, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And even at my heaviest, a 4 would fit, but I usually would wear a size 3. And now I've bought a couple of things that are a size 2 Chico's. It's like, wow, yay!
It's a non-scale victory.
Yeah, that's a non-scale victory. Yep. That's going to be happening to you too, Nathan. Your sizes are just going to start coming down. Aww. Hey, we got Tony in the house. And Tony says, joining you late. I wasn't sure what time you were live.
We weren't either.
Yeah. We were a few minutes late tonight because we were trying to get Pam's before pictures up. She said, I will start Mounjaro with my doctor here in Scottsdale. Hey, are you Scottsdale, Arizona? I know there's some Scottsdales in other states, but yeah, I live in Arizona too. If that's the Scottsdale you're going to, I will start Mounjaro with my doctor here in Scottsdale this month. So I've been watching folks using it to see how they're doing. We're loving it, Tony. What do you think, Pam? Are you loving it? Mounjaro?
Yes, it's changed my life. It has definitely given me my life back. I'll have to tell you. So people keep asking me, what does your husband think? What does your husband say? How does he say about how you look now? He has a new wife. and I said, he didn't complain when I was fluffy. And he doesn't really say like, oh, babe, you're skinny or anything like that. He's just, and I told him that yesterday. And I said, they keep asking. He said, because I'm happy that you're happy. I said, and that I'm healthy too. Yeah. And he goes, and that you're healthy too. He goes, I see that people give you grief. Like, what, gastric bypass? Oh, you took the easy way out. You're taking the easy way. And now he's like, and now that, people comment that you're too thin, or that, oh, that's so easy. And he hears all the comments and the negativity, like the Ozempic movie with, what were those?
It was such a movie.
Yeah.
It was,
Hmm.
South Park, the South Park.
Right.
Oh,
And you know, because it got such a bad rap because of the actors and actresses, and people like talking about going to parties and taking the injections that I
yeah.
think that people make fun of it now and stuff. So yeah, so he didn't, you know, he didn't complain when I was fluffy, and so he doesn't make it a big deal, but he's happy that we get to go walking and hiking, and I can keep up, and I'm going up, you know, climbing stairs and doing things. So yeah, and you could see he smiles. It's like, you know, you only eat one taco. That's like when we first started dating. I was a cheap date.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Jeff's been always really sweet for me that way too. And he used to always be, actually, it was funny you said your husband was 185 because that's what Jeff used to be, was 185 for years and years and decades. And he could just eat tons of food and
Mm,
stay at 185 where, you know, ugh, and I've always, if I, look at food, I'm going to gain weight. And
exactly.
when I would go on Weight Watchers, he would hate it because I would cook healthy, and so then he'd end up eating these recipes that don't taste as good because I'm trying to take out every calorie possible. And so they would be, some of them really didn't have a lot of flavor to them, and or not as good as
Right.
what he used to with the full fat and sugar and stuff. And he would just love it when I would get off, and 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 he'd be like, "Oh, great! You don't need to go back and do that, Let's go get some cookies and ice cream or something." Uh, and,
That's my husband too.
and he would hate it if, because boy, when I was on Weight Watchers back in the day, years ago, I haven't done it for a long time. It's been over 10 years, but uh, he would it would make me hangry. I would be hungry and angry, and I'm really not a very angry person. I'm a very happy-go-lucky person. But if I'm hungry, I could get hangry because, I would just be starving when I was on Weight Watchers. And so I was pretty miserable as I'd lose my 20 pounds. And
Yay.
then and so it wasn't fun for Jeff. And he'd eat whatever crap I'd make for dinner. And then as soon as dinner was over, he'd go into the kitchen and make himself some peanut butter toast, to supplement his calories with it. And but he just couldn't wait for me to get off. And then I'd get off and he'd be like, "Yay, don't do that again." And then 6 months later, I'd gained the 20 pounds I'd lost off, and I'd gain an additional 10. And I'd be like, "Oh, I gotta start back up again." And he'd be like, "Oh no, no, not again, Gina." And it was just a vicious cycle. I did that for years and then finally just gave up. And then I thought, I'll just plateau here. That I'm so chunky now. I won't get any fatter. This will be where I'm at. I can live with this. This will be okay. And he's been sweet to me with it. No, there is no level for me. It can just keep going, going, going higher, higher, higher. There was no ceiling. There was no ceiling. So I'm really excited to have Mounjaro. I just can't believe for a year there's no gaining weight. I went on vacations and had surgery where I couldn't exercise for
Yeah.
8 weeks. I only lost 2 pounds in 8 weeks after my hysterectomy, but I still lost 2 pounds. I would have gained weight. If I was just laying around the house watching chick flicks and stuff after my surgery without Mounjaro, I would have gained weight, and I didn't. So it's really been life changing, even though I'm
I
not a super
didn't.
responder.
Yeah, I know. I feel so bad whenever I think there's a very few. I don't feel like there's very many of us who are super responders. I don't know. But
No.
I have to tell you, people are talking about the weighted hula hoop now. And I'm like, Gina has that.
Oh no! Yeah, I love my weighted hula hoop. It's a way to exercise while watching TV. But I do it best if I'm watching a show. I really have to watch a show. When I took it in the van, it's really good to take with an RV, but
It's hard to find a good space
yeah, because I'm not going to be able to do it
in the van.
inside the van because I'm going to be smacking stuff, with the weighted hula hoop. And then to do it outside, I don't have a TV show to watch. And so you know, it's hard. When I would use it is when we went to my mom's house, and she wasn't home at the time, but she has 2 homes, so we were able to use the home that she wasn't using, and that's when I would bring it into the house, because then I could watch her TV and I had my weighted hula hoop, you know. But it just wasn't the same to do it out in the woods. I'd have to have some really good music, I don't know, to do it for 30 straight minutes, you know. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, the weighted hula hoop. All right, let's see what we got next here. Love you guys too. And Snoopy says, mine is 7.5. Is that good?
I think you just basically answered that one. Starting at 7.5, or maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I will tell you this, Snoopy. I don't know if you have type 2 diabetes and you've had it for a long time and you've taken a lot of other medications, you could start higher than 2.5. My dad had type 2 diabetes for over 20 years. And in the beginning, he was like metformin. Then he was metformin and other type 2 diabetes medications. And then after 20 years, he was needing to use insulin too and give himself insulin shots. And with his metformin and I don't know, a handful of other things. And so when his doctor started him on Mounjaro, he started at 7.5. He didn't do 2.5 and then 5 and then 7.5. He went from not using Mounjaro to using Mounjaro at 7.5. And it was just miraculous for him. And he didn't have bad side effects. And he's a super responder too. I mean, he's just not hungry. You know, he has to think about eating something so he can get some food in. And he no longer needs insulin. He doesn't need, you know, a bunch of other type 2 diabetes medications. The Mounjaro has done the trick. And I don't know. I need to ask him if he's gone up higher than 7.5. But I know the first year that he was on it, he lost over 60 pounds and didn't need to lose any more. He's on maintenance. And he did 7.5 the entire time. He never titrated up or down. That was the trick for him. So something to ask your doctor. But if I don't know, but a lot of us most of us, almost all, probably 90% of us start at 2.5 first.
Which is the typical
way to do it. You start at 2.5 to see how your body does with it. And you do that for a month because all the boxes come with 4 shots in a box. Your doctor might start you on that if you've been taking a lot of other type 2 diabetes medications. Maybe your doctor would want you to start you on 7.5. That'd be a you and your doctor thing. And Mindy says, Nathan, you're going to do great. And celebrate each milestone. Absolutely. And Tony says, how do you know how many calories to eat? That is a really good question. That is a question you can ask. You can ask your doctor. But check and see if your health plan will let you meet with a registered dietitian, because that's truly the best.
A lot of them probably do that.
A lot of them do. A lot of them do. Ours actually had a special program that you get to take for a whole year, and it was called Real Appeal, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And Real Appeal said that women should eat at least, it was over 1,000 calories. I can't remember. So it may have been like 1,100 or 1,200 calories, at least that much every day. And for men, was it 1,500?
Maybe.
I think 1,500 calories every day or more, but that being the minimum amount.
Because you don't want to go too low. Because if you go too low, then your body goes into like a starvation mode and tries to hold on to the calories to keep you alive.
Right.
And then it's harder. You hit a plateau and you keep on eating less and you're not losing weight.
Right. Which is frustrating.
Did I explain that correctly?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, but you can ask to see based on your height and your weight, and there's things that they can help with that. But ask and see. But you definitely want to eat at least 1,000 calories a day. That for sure. That I do know.
Now, some of your group here has said that they actually started eating a little bit more and then they started losing weight.
Right.
And it might be that effect
Mhm.
of.
Yep. And that happens to a lot of us.
That
if you eat
happened to me
too
too.
little, did it happen to you too? You were eating
Yeah.
too little and your weight stalled?
Yeah. And then anytime I had a stall, I would have a little treat or a hamburger or something, and I would lose weight.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, because
Yeah.
you weren't giving your body enough. And then when you gave your body a little more food,
Ah.
it was like, oh, she's not in starvation mode anymore. All right, let's release some fat.
Exactly.
So yeah. So you definitely want at least 1,000 calories as a woman. That I do know.
See, I listen.
Yeah, you're good. You
I'm
are good.
impressed with Jeff's knowledge over here.
Well, he took the Real Appeal because we have the same health insurance. So he took it for a year with me as well. And Jeff, in
She
this
did more
last
of the
year,
homework though.
yeah, I did. I was really on it. I was on it. I loved it. And Jeff has lost weight in 2024 as well, but about 40 pounds. And he's not taking a GLP-1, but he took the Real Appeal and he's been working on it with me and losing right along with me.
43
You're going to hit your
pounds.
goals, Nathan. 43 pounds?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. In the
As
year
of-
of 2024.
Since my highest.
Oh, since your highest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kept a bunch off, but
When you lost the 72 pounds on the
my
444.
graph is still going down.
Yep, which is very cool. There are good apps too, and Jeff really likes MyFitnessPal, and it tells you for your height and your weight and your age how many calories to shoot for, and it's pretty good as well. Oh, and Tony says I'm type 2 diabetes. Oh shoot, can we go back up? I have type 2 diabetes. I was diagnosed this year. Also Hashimoto's. Yeah, ask your doctor to be sure. And they should be able to give you a pretty good number based on your height and weight and Hashimoto's and all of that. Tony, I recommend Googling the TDEE calculator. Fill it out, including how much you work out, and it'll give you a calorie range for weight loss. Oh, that's
Wow.
great, Mindy. Thank you.
I wonder what TDEE stands for.
Don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
But I've heard of that one before. I just haven't used that yet.
Total daily energy expenditure.
Oh, and Mindy says total daily
energy expenditure.
Hey, there you go.
Can I
TDEE.
show this?
Sure.
This is my MyFitnessPal. Wait a minute. Let's see. There we go. There's my graph. Just enter your weights in there, and you can see all the way on this side here. That's where I am now, still going down. I was lower, but I'm working at it again.
Yep.
And I like MyFitnessPal because they have a very large database of the different kinds of foods you can put in there. So it's easy to enter the food and then keep track.
And Angelia loves you too, Pam. It says you're also a very, very good friend, her and Mindy. See? And Nathan loves you too, Pam.
They're so sweet. Like sometimes when you go on social media and you just feel like you're all by yourself. I'm like, nobody's watching, nobody's listening to me. But I love reading comments and hearing when they're there. So it means a lot.
And you never know if one might take off. Like I said, when I did my 3rd week on Mounjaro, it was my first time doing a live, and there was one person somewhere in the world that watched. And that video has taken off. It still gets views. It has almost 30,000 views. It's better than any video I've ever done.
Wow.
But the first day I did it, 1 viewer. That's all I had. 1 view. And live, 1 person live.
I watched it too.
Yeah. You were but yeah, 1 person watched it live, and then later it started taking off. I don't know why YouTube likes that one so much, but it versus all my other ones, but it really does.
I think it depends on what you put in there, because my second video was about the secrets, something about secrets of Mounjaro, and had to do with constipation. And all of a sudden somebody will start commenting on it and then it starts flying up again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Comments
the
really
algorithm,
help.
the search
On the replay,
board.
oh my gosh, especially during the replay, comments help a ton. Yes. So you never know, Pam. You just never know.
Wow.
Yay! Normal BMI, Barb. Woo-hoo! From 76.4 to
Congratulations.
25 in less than 3 years. I'm flabbergasted. This is me. I know. I'm so proud of you. And Barb, Jeff and I are going to Florida this winter, and we want to visit with you in Orlando. So
We'll
be on the
contact
lookout.
you.
We'll contact you because I've got a hug waiting for you.
That sounds like fun. Are you guys going to go to Disney World?
I've done all of those a bunch of times. So yeah, maybe. But I've been wanting to go back to Universal Studios because I went a long time ago and they had just a little bit of the Harry Potter stuff. But they were like, the train's coming and other stuff's coming next year or something. And I've never been back for that second part. And I love Harry Potter. So I think this next time I want to do Universal Studios.
You know what? I have been wanting to go on the Harry Potter roller coaster, but I was so afraid that I wasn't going to fit. And, what if something happened? And so I want to do that. Yes, I want to do it too now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because now we can ride more of the rides. Absolutely. Aw.
Miss Raina.
Right.
She's so sweet too. Everybody, oh my gosh. Oh, and Barb's was an open Roux-en-Y too. Yeah, so back when we had the surgery, that was still the common thing was to cut you open, and it was like from your belly button up about 6 to 8 inches.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he loves healthy choices. Yay. Oh,
Yeah, that dumping syndrome. Yeah. But and you kind of want that to happen because it teaches you not to eat that, or that's the thing about it, but it doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah. I call those Mounjaro spankings.
Yeah, the spankings.
3 big spankings. And you know what? Yeah.
In a year.
In a year, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
3 times in a year that I threw up.
You learn.
And I learned. Oh, and as soon as I start to get just a little bit of a smack where I know a spanking might come, that's when I use my Pepsid Complete, and I'm okay. And then I don't get that spanking, but it's close. Where I know, a spanking may be coming.
Wait, what did that say?
Okay.
Did you read that?
Deb, exactly. Nothing like lying on the bathroom floor in the restaurant with EMS trying to give me insulin. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's right. Because they thought she was having an insulin attack and it was a dumping syndrome. I think she was talking about that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would not be fun.
I always forget Taz's mom's name is Cindy.
Yes, Cindy. Taz the Bulldog's mom, Cindy. And she asked, Pam, do you struggle with how you looked while losing weight, like the skin issue, etc.? And if you did, how did you overcome that?
Okay, so I don't know, the arms for sure. So I liked, and whenever you're overweight too, you kind of get hot. But I would love to wear tank tops and short sleeves. But don't want to go. I will not go out in public with short sleeves or a tank top. I'm just not comfortable because it's just really, really flappy. And unless I'm on the beach, then yes. But being a teacher in high school, like, the kids would just be talking all about it. And when you lean forward, then the skin kind of gets drapey and it's almost like that, like an old person look. But I have found some compression tops, and not even just compression, but some tops, and they hold your arms in, but I'm having to wear those long sleeve shirts. My goal, I do actually am now more confident about saying or thinking about having arm the arm reduction surgery, because I think that's one of the areas that bugs me more. I'm kind of thankful that my lower abdomen I didn't get a big apron. So as long as I'm wearing underwear that go to your like belly button, you know, like kind of has like more suction to it. It's not uncomfortable, but it's like I don't know how to explain it. Not just
A little
free
bit of support.
Yeah, it has a little bit of support. Then it holds my stomach. And so I can't wear like bikini underwear because then I would have that skin to bug me. Same thing with bras. Like I have no bra, no this left anymore. It's like all hangy skin. And so I wear more of a bralette that holds all the skin, because for a while, like I would have like a chunkier skin here. Now there's like no fat at all, and it's just like a little bit of like skin, and you can tell it's like skin there. So I actually had a consultation with a plastic surgeon last week. One, because I have the hernia. And so I talked and I found this in our support group. They also help you with finding your surgeons. And his original surgery was general surgery. And so he knows how to do hernias, and he knows my doctor from San Diego, Dr. Zorn. He said, I know your original doctor, and I know Dr. Khalili from the Khalili Center for that did your revision, and Dr. Nishi who did, because when I had my revision, they had 3 surgeons in there because they felt like it was a complicated surgery, like having to do a revision. And he's like, I know all your surgeons. He's like, yeah, it's a small world of plastic surgery. And he's in Beverly Hills, which is near where that Khalili Center is. And what I've been told is go to where they have a lot of surgeries. So I'm going to have a CT scan to see how big the opening is on the hernia, because it's so big, it won't get stuck right now. And a lot of the stomach comes out. So it's like, it looks this big outside of my stomach. And he said, I need muscle repair. So I know that insurance will cover like the hernia, and maybe they'll cover the muscle repair. And I'm waiting to find out, like, well, because he's recommending like a fleur-de-lis, tummy tug, 360 body lift, like the whole shebang. But I'm not going to go get the whole shebang, and that would be too expensive. But he's like, yeah, you could do your stomach, and then and they do like even the pubic area. They take away that excess skin to make that nice and flat. And then the inner thighs, he's like, we could do your inner thighs, and we'll consult with the venous doctor to make, to work with the lymphedema. So we'll see. I'm waiting. First step now is CT scan, and then see how much can get done with the hernia and the abdomen repair. And believe it or not, like I really would be just fine not having like a tummy tuck, because that part of my stomach seems okay. But for me, it's the arms and the thighs. Like I don't wear shorts. I don't feel comfortable wearing shorts. And I love that whenever I see people, wear shorts and they have no lumpy bumpies or anything. And I always had like those cellulite lumps, and then the skin just kind of, hanging out. And so I do use that. There's a lot of tightening lotions.
Cream.
So I'm trying, the different creams. I'm trying to see if any of these things will work. I had radio frequency done on my neck. That's supposed to be like a 3-month process. It's never going to take away the, the turkey neck stuff, but the Botox, I went to go get Botox, but you could look at it. It's not that strong of a Botox. And so, but it's starting to like help a little bit. I'm doing a lot of skincare, Korean skincare, to tighten up things. This is not going to go away unless I had a face tightening. But yeah, I would just say for me, I wear more of a looser kind of a top. So you don't see I can't wear a tight top because you would see my hernia, and it's so embarrassing. It's like, it looks like I have a tumor. Yeah, I know that's the only bad thing. I mean, at least I enjoy how I look in my clothes.
You look adorable.
Thank you. But maybe, maybe that'd be eventually. I would love to be able to wear shorts in public and feel comfortable. I would love to wear a tank top or a short sleeve and feel comfortable. So maybe that'll come in the next year or so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for answering that question too. Yeah, you're welcome, Bia. Jeff, I'm sending you a helmet. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. You know, when I first met Jeff's dad, when we were dating, and I met Jeff's parents, he grabbed my hands, and I stopped, and I looked like what are you doing? And he said, "Can you talk now?" Because he knew I needed my hands to talk, and he thought it was so funny. And that was like when I first met him.
I do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Jeff's dad was a hoot too, just like Jeff. Oh, goodness. And Barb says, I hate to leave, but the gym comes early in the morning. I know, we've been going for a long time. It's been so fun. Pam, you are incredible, and I'll email you. We have to talk Disney. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with Disneyland and Disney World, you two ladies.
I know. We're going on, well, here in Disneyland. We're going to go to Disneyland next month. I haven't been to Disneyland since losing weight. So I'm not going to, so before when I would go, I would look at all the stalls and I lifted my body kind of over the turnstiles. And now I'm not going to have to do that anymore. So I'm so excited.
What is it? You know what? That's a non-scale victory.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Look at that name. Have we seen her before? Pamela?
Yes, she comes a bunch of our lives.
Oh, okay.
And, yep. I call her my other Pam. My other sweet Pam. Yeah. Pam, your story is very inspiring. Absolutely loved hearing it. Yeah, it's so neat that you were able to hear it.
Okay, there's another Mindy that's in our support group, and I was wondering if she was that Mindy too.
Oh, okay. And Mindy's never had bariatric surgery, so no. Okay. Oh, she does. She is a very pretty lady. Ah. I'm ready to host you in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yay, Pam. If I'm in town when you're here, I'd love to meet you. Lunch is on me. Of course, I know you probably don't eat much. Yet she'd be a cheap date. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And I love to make coffee too. Bold, nice coffee every day, at least 1 cup. I cut down. I used to drink coffee all the time, but my nurse practitioner was happy whenever I went down to 1 cup. Not bad at all.
I use Miralax before getting to that point. Yes.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yep. Like I say, I make sure I go every day. And if I don't, boom. And now I'm just doing Miralax daily because I don't want to get behind.
I'm not sure what is
Oh,
dangerous.
dangerous is if you're going like a week without
like
pooping.
5 days.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did I miss that
I
one?
think you skipped it.
I use Pure Kick electrolytes every day in my water, and I add Miralax to that strawberry watermelon Pure Kick. I love it. Yep, and that'll do
You
the
can take
trick for
Miralax
you.
in any kind of
Yep,
liquid, right?
any kind of liquid. Absolutely. And Brenda says, good evening, everyone. I'm late to the party, but we're glad you're here, Brenda. And I take a supplement called Seed. Yep. Pam was mentioning that she has friends that do that. Nathan says, I hope you're doing well, Jeff. You always make me laugh with your jokes.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
Yeah. And that's why I fell in love with him. He can make me laugh. And Rose likes those greens that you shared, Pam. It's amazing. I had a nutritionist tell me today it's very good for you also. Great. And Julie said, I started 4.5 weeks ago. This Thursday will complete 5 weeks, and I've lost 12.9 pounds so far. That's awesome. I am so happy. That is great. We're happy for you, Julie. And congratulations, Julie. Yep. And go like this, go down again. Here we go. Pam, do you like the Fairlife chocolate milk? Gina got me into it.
I'm surprised Nathan doesn't know this because every day, if I need to post more videos, I think, on YouTube, but I use the Fairlife chocolate protein shake. Maybe not the regular milk. I don't know if he was talking about the regular milk, but I do the 30 gram.
The regular one that I love.
Yeah, the short ones. Yeah, I use that all the time in my coffee. And so I brew my coffee. I even have changed. I don't do Keurigs anymore. I use a French press. I grind my beans every morning. And then in a frothing cup, I put in Fairlife chocolate protein. And then I've even started mixing more protein powders in it. So I'll either mix Clean Simple Eats. That's a powder, so that adds more protein. Or I'll mix in Javi protein powder, or I don't know, whatever. I'll add an extra protein powder, and then I even started adding a collagen protein. So Javi coffee also has a protein collagen, and there's some other ones, but I've been hearing. So I always try to add that in there because I want to get at least 35 or more every meal of grams of protein, and especially if I can get 50 or 60 in one meal, then we're doing great.
Exactly. And when I took the Real Appeal class, and I took a class with registered dietitians for type 2 diabetes, a 6-week class at the hospital, and they said, to have if you had 3 meals a day, try to have at least 20 to 30 grams each meal of protein. And so that's 60 to 90 grams of protein in a day. So, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
And some of us try to even shoot, if we can shoot for 100.
MyFitnessPal, that app, if you enter your food, then you can click on a little graph thing and it will tell you how much protein you got for that specific item or a specific meal or for the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband uses FitnessPal too, and I use it for the exercise stuff on my Apple Watch. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And Angelia says, being on Mounjaro, you should get your electrolytes checked every 3 months. It'll let you know if you need magnesium, etc., because Mounjaro will take it out of you. And I have been checked. I had my vitamin D checked to D, magnesium,
B.
and B12. And I was fortunate; all of mine turned out okay. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have that checked. Yeah. Such a good group. And we got Nora in the house today. Woo woo. And she said, good catching up with you, Gina. It's been a while for me. I'm glad to have you back, Nora. Yeah, Angelina says that all the time. All right. We just got a couple more here. And Linda's Journey says, Gina, I'm on Zepbound. It'll be a year, February 26th, that I've been on my journey. So you're almost at a year too. I was on 2.5 milligrams for 20 weeks. Awesome. And now 5 milligrams for 28 weeks. Starting weight 264.
Weight loss?
77 pounds lost.
That's
Check
great.
up on Friday. Congratulations. That is awesome. Awesome. And yeah, there's so many people that do really well on 2.5 that they're losing weight. So you stay on it. You don't have to do it for just a month. If you're losing weight on 2.5, you stay on it for a while until you're not, and then titrate up, and you're doing amazing.
That's great.
That is absolutely amazing. Is everyone on this channel type 2 diabetics? I'm just curious. I don't have diabetes, but watch Gina most of the time when I can. I'm on a weight loss journey for my health, taking Zepbound 5 milligrams. Linda, some of my friends have type 2 diabetes that watch Anchor Moments on when I do my lives on Mondays, and some aren't. Some are on Zepbound. and I've just been battling obesity, trying to get that taken care of. And some of us have type 2 diabetes and obesity, and we're trying to take that care of. So yeah,
Wait,
it's
what
a
about me?
combo. And then I got Jeff, who's just trying to lose weight, and he's
I'm chopped liver.
yeah, no, not chopped liver. And Jeff does not have type 2 diabetes, and he's not on any of the meds, but he's trying to do the healthy lifestyle journey with me, and he's being very successful. So I'm proud of him. But yeah, it's for both. And even when I do my a lot of times when I do my titles, I'll say Mounjaro / Zepbound. So that way everybody knows both people are welcome on my channel. I'm here for all you guys. And oh my gosh, Cindy says it's my year next week. And I'm blown away how I went from 308 to the 180s. Congrats, Gina. I'm proud of you. And I'm so proud of you, Cindy. Oh, and I'm going to have you on my show at some time too. So you let me know when you're ready, Cindy, and email me at gina@anchormoments.com. Aw. And Shelly, aw. Hi, Shelly. Yep. Yeah, these are the best lives. Such good peeps. Ah. Yep. And I hit the last one. All right, I've got to let people go to bed. I think this is the longest Mounjaro Monday live I've ever done. But it was
a Mounjaro Tuesday.
We might have to start doing Mounjaro pajama parties.
Oh, hey, there you go. And we already got one of us Jeff's getting it started because these are his pajamas.
Are those pajamas?
Yeah.
You need to take your shot.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I almost forgot. Hey, can you go get my yeah. And I'm going to do
taking it cold.
I'm taking it cold in my tummy.
I like to play that song.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my gosh.
You have a swab?
No, I need a swab too, sweetie. Oh my gosh, Pam, thank you. I would have woken up in the morning going, what the heck? I think I forgot something. What did I forget? All right.
I have another box waiting for me at Costco to go pick up. So I'm like, oh, I need to hurry up. I only have one vial left. Now I used to have, since I was on 10 for so long, I had like an extra box always, and I had it in reserve because I could what is it called, refill every 3 weeks. And now that I've been titrating down, I don't have that extra buffer. So there's still like a box of 10 grams in there, milligrams. And so I have one vial left, and then I'll be picking up my new box.
All right. Nathan, I'm doing it cold for you. But I have to do it cold anyway because I waited too long. So I go here. Let's do the tummy real quick. I'll go and do 12 o'clock. I haven't done this area of my tummy for quite a while.
I've never gone above my tummy, but I think it's I don't do it because of my hernia, probably. And I have a scar.
I usually go left or right, but yeah, so I know it's time to do 12 o'clock. So always take the cap off first and twist it to unlock. Wait, so hard to figure out when I've got both of these things here, how to do that. And what should I get? Ooh, the plastic is cold. It is cold coming straight from the fridge. Then you press down the purple button and hold it for 10 seconds and you listen for the second click. If you don't hear the second click, just hold it in and count to 10 or whatever.
Just give yourself 5 more shots.
No.
There we go.
Yep. Wasn't too bad. I rubbed it in my hands and tried to warm it up just a smidge. And I got a nice little red dot. Ooh, even all around it is cold. Yep. And it went in. And you really do know when it's cold. It went in. But not bad.
And you only take 1 shot a day.
Just one. Yes.
Okay. Make
All
sure.
right. Hey, oh, and Nathan says, yeah, I'm so glad Pam reminded me too. Oh my gosh. And Nathan, I was going to take it cold. I was like, all right, I'm taking it cold. One more week for Nathan. I'll do it cold in the tummy, just like I did it cold in the arm. And then I'm going back to having it warm, where I pull it out at the beginning of the video. And then by the time I put that shot in, it's been at least 30 minutes. And then I won't feel it, but hey, it'll still go in. I'll just know by the looking at the plunger being at the bottom and know that it went in because of that. All right, Pam, you're the best. Thank you so
Pam.
much for sharing
Thank
your
you, guys.
You
It's
are
been
awesome.
fun hanging out. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right, everybody, hold on to your anchor moments and have a great night. Bye-bye.